Commander. We've been hit by one of those space anomalies.
Buddy?
And the piloting system is down.
Buddy?
The astrogator's gears are shot!
Get a hold of yourself! You're an Earth Directorate agent.
Affirmative, Commander. What are the orders?
Brace for impact.
Unable to brace for impact.
Is it the end for Commander Zane and Buddy? Tune in next week to find out.
From one side of the galaxy to the next, the Earth Directorate is on your side. Whether against corrupt corporations, tyrannical governments, or corrupt corporations in league with tyrannical governments, the Earth Directorate is here to fight for the rights of all colonists. So remember, if you or your neighbor's government has turned tyrannical or sold themselves out to greedy corporate interests, just commandeer a skip drone and send the Earth Directorate an SOS, and we will respond immediately.
Please allow 6 months to 10 years, depending on your proximity to the nearest Earth Directorate base and any unforeseen encounters.
Commander, as always, I'm calling on you for a mission requiring both your unique intellectual prowess and aggressive instincts for item acquisition. Your destination is the source of all skip drive manufacturing, the Arcadian system. However, for reasons that must remain classified for the moment, this colony is outside our jurisdiction. We have recently discovered that the drives are somehow responsible for the dangerous rift anomalies, the tears in the fabric of space itself. Without skip drives, interstellar travel is impossible. No conferences at which to tear apart your peers' half-baked theories. No jaunts to other systems to find rare historical items. No propagation of knowledge of any kind. In short, stagnation and death for the colonies. Your mission is to rendezvous with Vries, our forward agent, and assist her in retrieving the information needed to determine exactly how the skip drives caused the rift anomalies. But be advised, if you or any member of your team are captured, you will be on your own. There will be no rescue. We cannot afford for this to turn into an intergalactic incident. Agent Vries will be contacting you shortly to coordinate your plan of action. As always, I look forward to your academically grounded yet thoroughly imaginative musings in your summary report. Allah be with you and your team, Commander.
Hi, Agent Pascal told me to bring you your new model tactical time dilation device. They say these newfangled ones cost no, that ain't right. 10.25% less brain damage than the old ones. Yeah, impressive, huh? Way it seems to make everything move slower still feels a little weird to me, but they tell me I'll get used to it. They say the way it works is like, well, you know how parts of your brain can become damaged if you're in suspended animation too long? It kind of does the same thing. Oh no, they don't simulate it. It's the real McCoy. The lab coats swear it's perfectly safe. Science is amazing, ain't it? Listen to me, rambling on. So, well, anyway, here you go. Look, Commander, truth be told, I asked to deliver it to you. I was just hoping to get a moment to ask you for a pointer or two, you know, on how to be a great agent like yourself. Because, well, you're a legend. And the other agents, well, let's just say they disagree on just how I should go about it. Well, Pascal likes to joke around, but I think she's being sincere when she says it's all about looking out for the people who can't defend themselves. Sandoval says he's got no time for weakness. He says we gotta save people because they're too stupid to save themselves, and that we have righteousness on our side. And Jepson, well, you know him, he don't talk much. So, what do you think? Yeah, there's some advice worth taking to heart. Anyway, Thanks for giving me the time of day. Most superiors wouldn't. Oh, I almost plumb forgot to tell you. It's near time for Agent Vries to establish contact. She's like you, top tier, one of the Earth Directorate's best. I know you'll like her. Anyway, we ought to be getting down to the main room and open up the channel. No need to wait on my account, Commander. I'll join you in just... Whoa, that's sure faster than taking the stairs.
Commander, considering the danger and consequence of the mission we're about to undertake, I hope you'll forgive the lack of pleasantries. Arcadia is ruled by a dictatorship that calls itself the Protectorate. They are beyond secretive. However, it is their inability to even imagine that someone could infiltrate their system that has given us an advantage. One I've found a way to exploit spectacularly. As unbelievable as it may sound, once you make your way to my location in the Skip Labs, we will be liberating an unsealed Skip Core. Exactly right. But that whole story about the explosive seals being necessary to complete the circuit so they'll function? Well, it's a lie. The seals are just there to conceal the inner workings of the drive so no one else can duplicate them. Examining an unsealed one will be invaluable in helping our lab coats figure out how they cause the rifts. But you'll first need to make your way to the station proper from the landing pad. Hopefully none. Our mission's timing is fortuitous. Most of the sector security was reassigned to the far side of the station in preparation for the imminent visit of their sovereign's family. They decommissioned several landing pads, including ours, to give them fewer points of entry to guard, giving us fewer chances to be intercepted. You'll just need to reroute power to open the door to the sector once you've landed. Once you gain access to the sector, you'll need to shut down their communications to keep them from alerting anyone to our presence. Then, you'll need to handle their combat mechs. Likely you'd need to find a control terminal to access. If you can, though, shutting them down before they even know you're there is advisable. They're relentless and well-armored. I've managed to leave caches of tools and intel for you throughout the sector. I'd take advantage of all of them, were I you. This may sound simple, but I cannot stress this enough. Do not underestimate the danger we face.
Come on, Agent. Haven't you heard? We're the best and brightest. We infiltrate corrupt governments before breakfast most days.
Do you think this is some kind of joke? The Protectorate are the worst of the worst and will not hesitate to string you up if you're caught, if you're lucky. They think nothing of regularly chemically lobotomizing their own subjects for even the slightest error. Your life isn't the only one at risk here. Don't tell me to calm down. You know what I've sacrificed, what I'm prepared to sacrifice still. I've spent the better part of a year laying the groundwork for this mission. I don't need a team led by some egghead refugee from academia fouling it up. For now, unlike you or your team, I am a professional. Whether I like it or not, you are the commanding officer here. My personal feelings will not impede our mission. I need to go now. My absence will be noticed soon. Once you land, I'll patch in over comms and guide you through the sector.
Augustine! Agent Vries. I just wanted to say we're all looking forward to working with you.
Who? Niles? Is that you? Law, what are you doing here? It's been so long.
I'm an agent. First assignment. Suppose I look a mite different now. Less grease. Oh, and no more smelling like fuel neither. Most days. Can't wait to see you once this is over, Agent. And good luck.
Same to you, Ibarra. Vries out.
Navigator's warmed up in the cockpit, Commander. Whenever you're ready to fly us in.
Good to know Vries is consistently on edge. Wasn't just me. You'd think she'd never been on a mission before. Everyone knows fluid's about the best you can hope for. Well, sitting here jawing ain't gonna accomplish much. Looks to be central dispatch on the right with security ops on the left. Which you taking, Commander? We'll hit the other. Kinda figured that'd be your choice. Ibarra and I'll take Central Dispatch, then meet you at the Skip Labs. We'll stay well out of trouble, won't we, Cadet?
That's right. Like you told me, Commander, everyone's well-being depends on our success. If whatever's going on here is as bad as the Chief thinks, then we'll make an end of it.
Right. Well, then, notwithstanding Ibarra's enthusiasm here, or DeVries' concerns over fluidity, I'm fairly certain we've got this under control. Rest easy, Commander.
Whoa. Hold on. What's this doing here?
Was that an explosion? Ibarra, Pascal, do you copy? Niles, say something.
What the fuck just...
Attempting to resuscitate Agent Ibarra. Please stay... An unabridged debrief is not available at this time. But in the parlance of Agent Pascal, some crazy... censored... alert. This unit has lost contact with Agent Pascal. There is a 90% chance she is trapped under rubble, most likely mortally wounded and beyond help. Triage protocols dictate stabilizing Agent Ibarra's vital signs before commencing recovery efforts. Please secure the area. Attempting to move Agent Ibarra is not advisable at this time. This unit will relocate Agent Ibarra to the incognito once he is stabilized or deceased. All other agents are advised to continue with the next mission objective. Please head to the Skip Labs now. Per Earth Directorate guidelines, an incapacitated agent's equipment is available for team use. Agent Ibarra's rifle is now yours, Commander. Using it may improve your odds of survival.
Commander, guards are closing in on your location. Agent DeVries, we need an updated tactical report. We've got agents down.
This makes no sense. There were no hostiles in the immediate area. No logical cause for that explosion. There's nothing more we can do for them. It doesn't change our mission. We have no choice but to keep pushing forward. I don't know what happened out there. This is all going wrong. Niles, he was a promising agent, but we've got no time for grieving. Take the lift behind you and get to me as soon as you can. It is imperative we retrieve this unsealed core and escape this station, lest his sacrifice be for nothing.
Boy, damn it! Can't you get anything right? You were supposed to be dead already. And here I was certain an agent known for their academic pursuits would be slowed down by the chance to examine a culture none outside this colony had ever seen. Oh, an infuriating miscalculation on my part, but one that will soon be rectified. You think I'd betray you, or the Earth Directorate, or my principals for a handful of bits? There is no betrayal here, though it is understandable someone like you would see it thus. No. The explanation is far more simple. The grand plan mandates this abomination of an experiment must die. And you along with it. Your righteousness is as unamusing as it is misplaced. I have no expectation to live through this either. Don't you think I would have? Sparing Niles and not having to deal with you would have been preferable were I given the choice. But the plan cares not for our wants. I couldn't risk the delicate balance of the predictions. The mathematical computations involved are very specific. There is no chance involved. This is no mere whim. This is happening as it must, and we have naught to say about it. Farewell, Commander.
Cloveren's family has been killed by a naturally occurring rift anomaly.
High priority alert to all Earth Directorate agents. Contact with Earth has been low.
Identified ships on the edge of Arcadia.
It's no longer just a spacer's choice, it's Auntie's choice. Greater value for your bid.
Arcadian citizens, we've come to deliver you from oppression.
You're not hearing me, Val. They were out there for almost 10 years. You know what usually happens when someone left in suspended animation that long.
Explosive cell death may result from extended periods of suspended animation. Death occurs quickly as the human body rapidly liquefies.
Exactly. And it would be my fault it happens. Oh, I never should have stopped looking. I can't face the commander right now, not like this. I'll be in the cockpit.
Welcome back to consciousness, Commander. Please accept your back pay for the previous mission. It has been prorated according to the mission's failure and your unapproved 3,468-day sabbatical. This unit is not programmed to judge the activities of off-duty agents. Revival protocols mandate a physical and cognitive test to confirm mission readiness. This is to ensure no unexpected changes have occurred regarding your abilities, Commander. Assessment complete. It appears you experienced some changes while in suspended animation, but nothing of concern. This unit will update your records accordingly. An event summary will now be provided to improve your situational awareness, Commander. If you feel yourself beginning to liquefy at any point, please notify this unit immediately. Following an aggressive merger between Anti-Cleo's and Spacer's Choice, the new corporate entity known as Auntie's Choice invaded Arcadia. Auntie's Choice claims they are following market demands and liberating Arcadia through the power of capitalism. Many have died. Unfortunately, their invasion fleet also exacerbated the rift anomaly created by Agent de Vries' sabotage of Horizon Point. This means no ship can enter or leave the colony. The rift also remains a threat to the colony. Current estimations suggest the rift will destroy Arcadia in the next 10 years. Give or take 7 to 8 years. Correct. At some point in the next decade, the rift will result in the complete annihilation of all life in Arcadia. But currently, it is a low to medium priority concern. Agent Ibarra has expressed far more confusion and alarm about Agent de Vries' latest actions. Agent de Vries did indeed survive Horizon Point. This was confirmed when she brought down the old Earth Directorate surveillance satellite earlier this month. The satellite had been gathering information since before your mission. When it fell, it signaled agents across the colony, leading to the discovery of you and Agent de Vries. Agent Ibarra prioritized your recovery above pursuing Agent de Vries. This involved disassembling and rebuilding the astrogator to allow the incognito to travel to your location. This unit has observed a marked improvement in Agent Ibarra's hygiene regiment since the satellite was brought down. He is shaving again and routinely changes his clothing. Final update. Due to the deaths of every other squad member, Agent Ibarra is now a full agent. He is currently in the cockpit. Please extend your congratulations when you see him.
these years and I still can't get my head around what Augustine did. Sacrificing her whole team. And for what? What did our blood pay for? Oh, Commander. Thought you were Val. Glad to see you up and ambling about. And not, human stew. Seems so. Better luck next time, I guess. You know, when I first learned some of the escape pods made it away from the station, I'd hoped. I did search for you, Commander. Just as soon as I was able. Might be you're giving me more grace than I deserve, but either way, thank you. So then, I gather Val's described our state of affairs?
Confirmed. The commander has received a full briefing on the following topics: the invasion of Arcadia, the Rift, and Agent de Vries's survival.
De Vries. Would have been better if she joined the dead. I figured she'd done just that until I got the alert that she brought down the Earth Directorate satellite. If she's of a mind to, she could use the information on that thing to destabilize the Rift and destroy Arcadia. She was one of us, Commander. It's our responsibility to stop her. With your erudite insights, I wager it won't take us long at all to catch her. She's gone to ground now, but as part of her original undercover mission, de Vries was inserted at the Vox relay station on Paradise Island. She'd have followed protocol, established a safe room there. Wager that's where we'll find clues as to her present plans and whereabouts. From your lips written into law. Just to be clear, I'm not saying we're strolling up to the Vox station and knock nicely. The Vox is highly restricted and heavily defended. It'd be a death sentence. We might ought to explore the island first, find out what we can. The satellite alert pinged de Vries' tracker in a town, name of Fairfield. Wasn't nowhere clear as yours, so we need to poke around a bit. Doubt she's there now, but it seems a better place to start than assaulting her protectorate communications hub.
Welcome to Fairfield, now under the new and improved management of Auntie's Choice. I'd usually ask if you were affiliated with the previous regime, but you lack the bewildered gaze of a yay-saying protectorate subject. Even so, going to have to ask you to identify yourself. Still a war on and all. Earth Directorate, huh? Like, from the serials? Thought Arcadia was outside your jurisdiction. Any folk native to this place sure wouldn't have ever heard of you. End of the day, we let most anybody in. Bottom line's all we care about is our bottom line. That'll be all. Unless you got any questions before you're on your way. On the way from the landing pad? Had a convoy out that way. They're overdue. See any sign of them? Damnation. I know that toss ball. Belonged to a friend on that detail. Keepsake, I guess. Thanks. That'll mean a lot to his family. They can use it to pay his gravesite fees. Fool never bothered keeping up on the payments. Them protectorate drones been a serious menace of late. Heard Trooper Faulkner shot a few. You find a way to put a stop to them, there's a bounty for it. Bounty terminal's out next to the jail, across from the bar. Just down the lane here a spell. You get to Town Hall, you passed it. What? You been in hibernation or something? We're here to bring the free market's liberation to the people of Arcadia. And Arcadia's bounty to the rest of the galaxy, of course. As I've never heard of her, can't say I can. Seems like Minister Milverstreet knows everybody, though. Probably ask him. Anything else? Oh, we got everything. One of them, at least. Clinic's over there on your left. Watering hole's a bit down on the right. Market's a straight shot down the lane. Before I forget, I have standing orders to send all newcomers to Minister Milverstreet. He's in the town hall. That'd be the one with the giant hologram on it. Can't miss it.
Yet you see fit to keep me in a constant state of consternation. With each unauthorized act, you jeopardize our hold of Fairfield.
Yes, but you must understand, the Protectorate citizenry is a hair's breadth from defection. Within the week, I'm certain.
Certain. Like the week prior and the week before that. Impressive foresight you wield. Should apply to join the Order of the Ascendant.
It would be difficult enough to convert the stubborn populace without your soldiers' constant, ill-advised forays.
Enough! Your yipping reminds me of my 2 old canids. I loved those canids. You, on the other hand, are trying my patience. We don't want to try Auntie's patience, do we?
No, Auntie.
Yes, I thought not. Now, unless you care to see what life in the lower rungs looks like, you will both of you cease your foolish maneuvering immediately. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Auntie.
Good. See that it is done. I will brook no more disappointments. And while you're at it, you might want to look into your security situation, Commander. I'm not accustomed to an audience when addressing my subordinates.
Who in the void? Eavesdropping on Auntie's choice business is like to get a body shot for spine. Though you're not wanting for moxie. I'll give you that.
Now, hold a moment, Kaur. When opportunity comes visiting, perhaps it's better not to riddle it full of holes. Our new compatriot may be of assistance.
A surprisingly good point, especially from you. She only forbade us using our own personnel. Be a whole other matter were a stranger to happen to aid one of us. But which? Well, you seem an observant sort, so I expect you'll tire of Milver Street's bluster soon enough. Come see me before agreeing to whatever absurdity he proposes. Unlike him, I have some work actually befitting your time. I'll be waiting.
Now, with that out of the way, I'd care to make my introduction. I am D.B. Milver Street, Duke of Demographics, Commercial Condottieri, President of Promotional Material. Tell me.
Hey, how about we settle our business first? I did what you wanted.
Took you time doing it. I had you pre-marked as a casualty in my reports. I suppose I'll have to go back and amend them. Time better spent raising morale.
Now hold on. I went into enemy territory crawling with dangerous creatures for you alone to get some dusty report. And you got the audacity to complain about paperwork? If this contract weren't staying my hand, I reckon you'd be answering to it right about now.
You mean grant preferential treatment to a subpar contractor? And I suppose the bits for such a procedure shall simply manifest from the ether?
And if I die or leave, how do you reckon failure to retain an enhanced soldier would look to upper management, huh?
Please pay this disgruntled employee no mind. What would she do without Auntie's hand to guide her if she were unemployed? I should think death a preferable alternative.
That's it. I'd rather be a down-and-outer for the rest of my life than crushed under your counterfeit leather boa boot a second longer. I quit!
What? I have done nothing to deserve such barbaric treatment. This is unheard of, and I might add, you'll not be welcome with an Auntie's choice once more. We'll not take a contract shirker back into our fold.
So you say, but Auntie's choice ain't seen a trooper like me before. You'll regret counting me out. Till then, I hope you choke on your mock apple martinis. And you, I got a proposition for you. Come find me when you're done with this clown.
She will most assuredly regret her decision, most assuredly. Now, if you're quite finished urging others to assault my headwear, let's move on. I can tell you are a person of action, and I need the aid of such a person in Westport. Perhaps you may be willing to work with me? Though, of course, I would care to hear what you wish of Paradise Island first. Best to help another while helping oneself.
With that hat? Absolutely not.
Is this a bad time to mention I can read lips? I have some faint recollections of the fuzz beneath my hat. Perhaps I saw such a name amidst my perusal of the Protectorate domicile assignment records. The record room is in this building. You have my permission to peruse at your leisure. But surely a go-getter like yourself has more ambitious goals on our island. Share them with me, and we can brave them together. Ambitious, aren't we? Easily the best protected location on Paradise Island. Hardly a place for a stroll. But if you assist me, I promise to get you inside. Better yet, helping me shall result in our saving hundreds of lives. Your conscience shall be renewed.
Though I should warn you that if you choose to do so, Commander Kaur shall not be pleased and will likely refuse to work with you herself. Won't you please, please, please help me assist the poor defenseless denizens of Westport? No one else is as capable or attractive as you. Ooh, that burns me. Fine, begone. But as much as it pains me to admit it, Westport still needs help. Return if your black heart attains some modicum of remorse.
Watch out for that Auntie Cleo. I know she don't look it, but she's...
You're here early. I expected you'd be on the receiving end of Milver Street's bluster until close to the end of time. Happy that ain't the case, as I can make use of you. I'm Officer Babylon Kaur, head of aggressive acquisitions and persons elimination on Paradise Island. Let no one say I can't be official when circumstances merit. Now, not to say I question the presence of a wayward sightseer in the midst of a war-torn waste, but it might be safer for us both if I knew your purpose. The Vox, eh? Bent on bloody self-destruction, I could just have my troops dispatch you, save you the effort. Although if you were keen on continuing to draw breath, perhaps you and I could broker a deal. There are Protectorate vitals need bled. You could do the bleeding. I want the Protectorate war effort exsanguinated. You want into the Vox relay. You help me, I help you. There's a particular holding we shelled early in the war, name of Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center. Deserves a raising for the length of its blasted name alone. My scouts report recent Protectorate attempts to bring it back to functioning. I need the place sabotaged, lest Automechs return to aid the Protectorate war effort in droves. Should note, the ministers like to take our working together as a personal affront. Aid me, and I suspect he'll rescind any offer he may have made to you. Competence recognizes competence. One last thing. Visit the Ministry of Accuracy first to gain credentials that will grant you easy entrance to the repair center.
All done in there? Hope that little dust-up back there didn't put you off. My contract had me caged, and I was glad to get a few licks in during the jailbreak. Got a proposition. Since I'm newly free-ranged, and you're free-ranged yourself, thinking we ought to team up. You're going places. I want to go too. If you help me fix my graft, you'll retain the services of a fully functioning enhanced soldier. Me. Don't matter what you set your mind to, together we'll be unstoppable. And in time, maybe I'll have earned myself the clout to be welcomed back into Auntie's choice. Had a feeling you knew a good offer when you seen it. Once I'm in top form, you'll be pleasantly surprised to see what I'm capable of. Just gotta find out how to get there first. Doc Tinsley worked with Grafs for some time before she came to Fairfield. Damn fine scientist. Reckon we should visit her lab at the edge of town to see if she's got ideas for us.
This much of a crowd's not likely to keep a low profile. Someone ought to head back to mind the ship.
Acknowledged.
After you.
Would pulverizing them suffice? No, I couldn't liquefy them. Apply heat and congeal them into kibble no beast could resist. Oh, Ethel, darling, you're a genius. Approach with less haste next time, won't you? Copernicus may be tame, but he still doesn't take kindly to being startled. Oh, Inez, you look, well, like you could use an ice bath and a cup of newly formulated triptease. Has something happened?
Something has, all right. I ended my contract effective immediately. Now I'm free to prove myself to everyone in Auntie's choice. My way.
Well, that's wonderful news. Or is it? I admit I'm still trying to work through what contracts mean hereabouts. But you do appear to be pleased, so I shall be pleased for you. That is not common knowledge in this town. But since Inez appears to trust you, I suppose I can do the same. Before I began my new illustrious career working with our tame, scaly friends here, I was a researcher in the Enhanced Soldier Division. Oh, I was on the verge of breakthrough when they shut us down. Oh, when I think of the lives I could have reached. But in my current role, I do try to help where I can.
Where my own first aid training can't reach, Doc's got me covered. The graft knocked me on my ass for weeks when I first got it. But she nursed me back to health.
Would if I could have done more. Right. I have a lead, Inez. I've identified 2 viable beasts on this island that you may be compatible with, though it may not be easy to acquire the suitable specimens. The first candidate is the skeleton crabble. It has a rare form of albinism and was last spotted on the western coast by Protectorate scientists, who, unfortunately, went missing. I happened upon an old report of theirs along with a code used to operate their machinery. If their fate is what I suspect, the code may be of use to you.
I heard rumors of the creature myself. Our skeleton sounds a good bit larger than the average crabble. Meaner and smarter, too.
The second candidate is a Raptidon matriarch, the only one of her kind on the island as I understand it. She was last spotted in the crags near the Vox relay.
Deep in Protectorate territory. This matriarch sure ain't making it easy for us. She'll be more aggressive and more cunning than her smaller kin.
When you breach the matriarch's lair, you must rouse her from hibernation. I found pheromones to be quite effective. Inez, I'm certain you know a formula that may suffice.
That I do.
Excellent. It'll be a rather unpleasant wake-up call for the matriarch, so she'll be upon you in moments. I suggest your armaments be at the ready. Then the grafting part is yours. Yes, though I would recommend a careful surgical removal of the specimens, please. Now, when you acquire one or both of these parts, return here straight away, and we can begin surgery. Law guide you both out there. Back again? I hope the hunting has gone well. Of course. I'm pleased that we now have 2 viable options. What do you make of them, Inez?
The material we harvested from the skeleton crabble could allow me to fire off scalding shell shards. They'd pierce through armor easily, I imagine. And the part from the Raptidon matriarch should let me camouflage myself at will, like other Raps can. I'd be able to close the distance and heal you up without the enemy noticing. I believe either option would suit me fine. Care to share your thoughts? Then I will. And you know what? This makes me the first of Auntie's soldiers to graft with the skeleton's claw. I rather like the thought of being a pioneer. If you don't mind, I'll go ahead and take this spare part off your hands for my own research.
Oh, the skeleton crabble will be a splendid match for you, Inez. Go on now. Get sorted while I get this machine up and running. Mind the Raptidon drool on the table. No need to be nervous. I promise.
Thank you for the bedside manner, Commander. As you can tell, I've got a nervous temperament and jump at the sight of my own shadow.
Enough distractions, please. I need the utmost focus for my work. This is beautiful work. My best yet. How does the limb feel, Inez? Any numbness? Pain?
Yeah, both. Body's not accustomed to the presence of another limb. Feels like I've got an extra passenger in my nervous system. But it certainly beats feeling like I'm bleeding on the inside. Or fighting the urge to feast on raw human flesh. Like last time.
Well, I'll certainly be having words with that surgeon, leaving you in a state like that. Now, you come back straight away if anything bothers you.
Will do, Doc. I thank you. And you, Commander, without your help, I don't know what I might have done. Whatever you need going forward, I'm there. You got my word.
Always have time for a freelancer in my employ. Loose your words. I'm listening. Scouts reported a plume of smoke thick and wide billowing from the facility. Sure didn't seem to be mechanical exhaust. Got more to report? Though I don't understand your soft-hearted tendencies, you do good work, so I can lower myself to easing your emotional load. Anyone still living at that repair facility is safe. They'll be stuck there trying to fix the facility for the whole war. And we won't attack it, since we know it's ruined. Now, let's talk helping you. There's a bridge gating entry to the northern part of the island. You want to get to the Vox? First step is getting through it. There's an alternate path, but it's blocked by Zeranium. I'll order my troops at the forward operating base to aid you, and you'll punch through together. From there, your target's the Skycutter Tower. Seems it was recently reactivated, and by our engineers' metrics, might be useful in overloading the Vox's defenses. Wouldn't trust the Protectorate's over-engineered perfection to cook a spratwurst. Give me the no-frills, disposable quality of Auntie's choice any day. If by some miracle your contraption doesn't turn you inside out, I'd give you a much quieter route to the Vox. Much as I'd like the bridge's clearing. Once you pass to the northern end of the island and enter the Skycutter, you'll need to find the tower's power routing controls. Mayhaps you can wreak some chaos at the Vox. Step light, though. There's no Protectorate gallivanting near the tower, which, like as any, means something bloodthirsty lurks within. Stay intact. Take care in the northern regions of the island. Fewer reports from scouts. Heightened degree of danger. Maybe that's something to look forward to. Loose your words. I'm listening. Good work. Sure it'll aid your path into the Vox, presuming you keep your nerve. Let me spin you a yarn. One of my elite regiments ceased replying to hails several weeks ago. Hardy bunch. Fought all across the system. Yesterday, the Protectorate launched the regiment commander's upper torso into one of our encampments, which makes 2 1/3 complete corpses of a 6-person unit. Mocking us. Calculating bastards, the Protectorate. Would admire their efficacy if it weren't taking so many of my best and brightest. Once the fighting reignites in full, they'll pay dearly. Ask a loaded question, get a loaded answer. You want diluted truths and empty charm? Milver Street's just around the corner. Pains me to admit such, but for all our losses, we've minimal gains to show. It's all these half measures. Milver Street saw things my way, Paradise Island would be ours by mess. Most hands are troublesome in their own ways. I'm here to do a job, difficult or no, and I'll be damned if I don't do it well. We outmaneuver the Protectorate. Hit them hard, hit them fast. By the time blood sprays dirt, their citizens will have already defected. Fun as it is to discuss reasoning, reckon our time would be better spent focused on business.
Vries sure has some cheek putting the Earth Directorate symbol on her wall after everything she's done.
My cover story has worked. I am safely ensconced at the Vox station, assigned to the lowly Information Input and Retrieval Department. It seems a colony so certain of its absolute control over its subjects can be less than rigorous when it comes to security. I was able to easily widen out a space behind the walls of the main control room to establish my safe room, giving me unfettered access to the communication transfer conduits. I have hacked into their system downstream from the security protocols, so I am able to infiltrate their entire system with them being none the wiser. While I have little doubt as to the success of our mission, trepidation still gnaws at me, though I cannot say why. Perhaps it is simply the normal mission commencement jitters. I thought my duties complete. Information gathered, reports filed, preparations made. I'd even created a fictitious identity and work transfer to Horizon Point Station well ahead of schedule, in order to keep anyone from tracking my movements upon commencing the mission. All that was left was the waiting. Or so I thought. Then, troubling information came to light. I've seen the numbers. I've seen the equations. While I don't understand all of it, I understand enough to know it is the truth. And I am the only one in a position to act upon it, though it means the betrayal of my team and the duty I swore to uphold. But can I? I did it. They are all dead. And I am still alive. I had not expected this. I had prepared no alibi, and so felt assured my ruse would be discovered and I'd not have to carry this burden. But the complete gullibility of the Protectorate subjects cannot be underestimated, it seems. My threadbare excuse of my grievous wounds as pitchball injuries was accepted without question. I can only keep telling myself it had to be done. Something which becomes harder by the day as the rift anomaly grows in the sky. But it was all part of the plan. Wasn't it?
I can't believe this. Void me if I understand any of this. Vries sold us out for what? Because of a few equations? Some dots and lines on a graph? Good fucking law. I mean, she wasn't a damn scientist. She said it herself. She didn't understand all of it, the math. So what was she thinking? Oh, yeah? And how many of those colleagues went and blew up a space station on account of it? Damn it! I never wanted to talk about this. I wanted to just leave it alone. Told myself, no point in dredging up the past. Should have known he wouldn't rest. Vries may have saved me on Triangulum, but I wasn't the only one looked up to her. Lots of the other recruits talked about her too, back at the academy. We all thought she was the pinnacle of what an agent should be. Tough, smart, ain't a job she couldn't get done. And better and faster than everyone else. Inspired all of us. Reckon so. It's mighty embarrassing how much worship we all put on her name. You put a tool in my hand, I would have built monuments to her. Figure my own career could be just that. Doing for others what she done for me. Never imagined I'd actually get to work with her. Me, some nobody from Triangulum. And then she betrayed us. Tried telling myself it was an accident, but now we've got the cold, hard proof it wasn't. Law only knows why she trusted the Order's numbers. Ain't cynical if it turns out true. Vries was willing to sacrifice us. I have to know what for. I mean, she always struck me as so pragmatic, real sensible-like. Never figured she'd go all in on predictions from a bunch of monks. Done some good, too. Even I can admit that not everyone following the plan is a fanatic. But when those beliefs start to require hurting others, even killing them, that's worth questioning their virtue. No, didn't even know Vries was alive until she brought the satellite down. Until then, what kept me going was mostly training and stubbornness. And vow. But to your point, holding someone who's wronged you accountable for their actions ain't an act of vengeance. Some might call it justice. You forget we're on the same side here, Commander? I'm not the only one Vries wronged. She robbed you of 10 years of your life. Don't you want recompense for that? No. But it might keep her from stealing more years from someone else. Or doing worse still.
Whatever her plans, she started putting them in place while stationed undercover at the Vox relay. Our next point of order ought to be getting in there.
Did you not hear me? This place is closed. No learning today about how everything happens according to the obscure calculus of an indecipherable plan. Why are you asking? Who are you?
The people she tried to kill.
By the architect. I had no idea. I wish I could say it was unbelievable. I was afraid she was becoming a danger to herself and to others. But this is horrifying.
Yeah, imagine how we feel. Why don't you tell us where she is so we can make sure she ain't being a danger to herself or others?
And how are you going to do that?
That ain't something you ought to be concerning yourself about.
If you think I'm going to help you do what I think you're talking about, you are deluded.
I may be deluded, but you're lucky you ain't dead. Seeing how she seems partial to using her friends as victims.
Does she? It occurs to me that you have provided no proof of what you're accusing her of.
Why don't you take a long look at me? This is all because she betrayed us. Her team, her friends, even the one whose life she saved in Triangulum.
By the architect. You're Niles, aren't you? She mentioned you a few times, but refused to elaborate. All I knew was that she was fond of you, and that you were dead.
She was fond of me? Then why? Why would she try to kill me?
I can't say, but it may be one of the things she anguished over. An anguish I fear finally overwhelmed her, and could likely be what's driven her to her present course of action. I wish I knew. It's nothing good, I can tell you that. I haven't seen her since before the corporatists invaded the island. I'm afraid she's going to do something terrible, but I just don't know what. Maybe none of this would have happened had I not introduced her to Victor. How did... You saw her terminal, didn't you? Victor's an Order archivist. We were all friends for a time. But then, shortly before the schism, they started talking to some others inside the Order. That's when things became tense. I started to become uneasy, scared, really. She kept getting angrier with the Order the more she worked with Victor and her other contacts. On top of everything else, it became just too much for me. Among other things, for some reason she was obsessed with the cliffhanger ending of Chapter 6. It was the one where capitalist fanatics brought complete destruction upon Arcadia. But you know how it works. It was somehow miraculously saved at the beginning of the next chapter. Didn't matter to Vries, though. She just kept going over it and over it. Would have talked to a Crabble about it if there was no one else to listen. That and the invasion itself set her mind to dark things. I begged her not to go down that road again. She was so agitated when I first met her. Must have been 7, going on 8 years ago now. She never slept, didn't talk to anyone if she could avoid it. After we became friends, she began to change. Still bothered her from time to time, but I thought it mostly behind her. I couldn't watch her go back to how she'd been. Or worse. No. But it had to be someone's fault, right? The Protectorate couldn't possibly have failed to safeguard the colony. And they had to answer the accusations the Order leveled at them. We became friends when she... well, she saved me. I'd said something without thinking. Must have been distracted. We all know to watch every last word we say. For some reason, she interceded on my behalf with an arbiter, and she convinced him he didn't hear what he actually did. No one does that. Void, I didn't think anyone could. We all were, originally, before the schism. But she never gave it up, even when it became illegal to even mention their name. Which was surprising with how angry she seemed to be getting with them, even as she was deep into scheming with Victor and the others. She even continued to sign her messages, "See you in the equation." It's all so confusing. What do you mean? It was where she worked, one of the Protectorate's communications hubs. She didn't speak of it much, at least to me. She may have spoken to Victor about it.
She ain't the only one.
It's difficult to explain. She spoke about things in unfamiliar ways. I felt her words to be freeing, at first. But slowly, I began to feel unmoored, doubting everything I ever knew. She said learning the truth of things was worth it. But now I question whether her truth was just more of her penchant to sow chaos, no matter who may be caught in her schemes. Some days I wish I'd never listened to her at all. Others, I can't help but miss her. Even with everything.
Know a little something about that, too.
I did try to. Once. After the corporatists invaded Paradise Island and took over Fairfield. They seemed to let anyone in there. Some boisterous fellow even tried to recruit me. No. Nearest I could surmise, she'd left just prior to the fall of Fairfield. I'm ashamed to admit, I did break into her safe. She used the same code for everything. 15-778.
That sounds like it could be her agent identification code, Commander.
She said it had some meaning from her previous life. I'd hoped she'd left something for me, but the safe was empty. I know I've no right to ask this of you, but when you find her, please remind her of who she used to be. She's unwell, but I know there's still hope for her. That's all I can ask.
Ah, yes. The stranger with the orders from the Vigilant. Tragically, I must decline. Whatever you are approaching a restricted...
Breath tingling, all charged up.
Things take time, Commander. Putting traitors on display like that's one way to send a message. Anything too good for my
cannot be happening. Not again. Come, quickly. We must all bear witness.
Technicians Acna and Gastrell, you stand accused of manufacturing a fatal flaw in one of our valued dragoons. Have you any last words to express your shame?
That dragoon was already defective. Oh, we were only rebuilding the logic assembly so that...
At last, the truth alights. I hope this belated confession unburdens your conscience, though it will do nothing to commute your sentence. On the charges of sabotage and treason most contemptible, I find you both guilty.
No. No, please! This is all a misunderstanding! We're loyal!
More loyal subjects executed. And valued technicians, no less. I cannot see how reducing our own manpower guides us down a path to victory. Wait. I don't recognize you, soldier. Are you a new transfer? No, you can't be. Montelli's insisted on a complete lockdown. No one permitted to come or go from the station. Others named Hogarth a traitor, but I never believed it. If anything, Montelli is inflicting more injury to the Protectorate right now than the whole of what Hogarth is accused of. In any case, the writ all but obliges me to aid you. Perhaps now we can put an end to all of this lunacy. If I can just speak with Montelli, maybe I can persuade him to stand down. Go to his terminal. Search for any information on it that may be deployed against him. Also, while you're there, notify High Command that I'm taking control of the station. I'll admit there's some risk in having my actions misinterpreted. I could be named a traitor, as Vigilant Hogarth was, or sent to mental refreshment. No. Surely High Command will understand the need for this transfer of power. What I do now, I do for the Protectorate, not myself. Besides, Montelli is not merely my superior, he's also an old friend. I must make some attempt to get through to him. Remind him of what true service to the Protectorate means. You will need your own access card to get upstairs. Blank keycards can often be found in the contraband room, and there's a terminal for encoding access in the security office. Head through the door to the right and continue down the hall. You should find your way without much trouble. Oh, but mind the guards. They'll still attack. My commitment to the Protectorate is unwavering. Obviously, I wouldn't be attempting something so foolhardy if I was not devoted to protecting cause above self. Remember, our success hinges on sending my notice and gathering any information you can from Montelli's terminal. Don't fail me in this, or it will be both our graves. I will join you as soon as you go to confront Montelli. In the meantime, I'll gather what weapons and allies I can, just in case things go poorly.
Huh. Appears our good brigadier is being guided by someone else's hand. You wager that influence is what pushed him over the edge?
What now? Ah, an intruder. Of course. I was warned the paradigm would test me, and here you have arrived. And Corbin. By your presence, am I to understand that you've turned renegade as well? Of all the serpents writhing beneath my boot, you were the last I expected to strike at me.
My intentions are as they've always been. Honorable. I only wish to talk.
Talk? With a gun in hand and an enemy in your shadow? Do you mistake me for a fool?
Turn your gaze outward, Umberto. Look at everything you've done. Can you honestly tell me this is for the good of the Protectorate?
I'm killing traitors. Seditionists. I am purging our prized garden of chokeweed and all manner of slithering things. My methods may seem callous, but a swift response to treason is necessary to prevent this crisis from worsening. Auntie's choice, bah! The invaders are vacuous opportunists dead from the collar up. They would not have found purchase here if not for the festering rot already in our soil.
Festering rot? Hell of a way to speak of your own forces, Brigadier.
Or perhaps your auntie's choice simply lacks the standards to separate out mediocrity. Nevertheless, I am not afraid to speak what's true. Our great protectorate has lost its way. Years of comfort and plenty without stricter enforcement have softened us, made us weak, undisciplined. If only the sovereign heeded his consul's wisdom, he could restore the protectorate's honor, instead of shaming his forebears by leaving such a grave task to others like myself. The vanquished have no say in history. If I prove myself valorous before the end, who shall remain to argue against the means? Certainly not you.
When you speak, I hear the voice of my friend, but not his reason. Not the man who taught me to temper discipline with care for those under my command. If any vestige of that man remains, I believe he'd recognize the need to be relieved of command, and would welcome the friend who gave him the opportunity to do so bloodlessly.
The only thing I would welcome in this moment is your head upon a pike, you fraternizer. What do you know of it?
I know you have only ever wanted one thing, to serve the Protectorate. Right now, you're only doing it harm. But perhaps if relieved from the pressures of command...
You speak of an impossibility. Were it so easy to choose another path, do you think either of us would be here? An offer unasked for, unwanted, and summarily rejected. Were it up to me, I would sentence you to the slow and painful traitor's death you deserve. But given the circumstances, your extinction must come quicker. Guards, purge this loathsome treasonist and his odious ally from my sight. Leave none alive.
Got some bad
Still tight. Dogs cocked and loose. Get this in.
Your best attempt at getting Montelli to surrender? I should shudder at what your worst would have looked like. Sorry? Oh, well then. all's forgiven. And still, I've not learned my lesson. Clearly, you're someone who only understands plain speech. If you'd have told me all those years ago that this is where my future would lead, standing over Montelli's corpse, I'm not sure I would have wished to survive that disaster. What's done is done. I only hope my superiors will understand my actions here today, and that the Vox will be strengthened under new leadership. After I've summoned janitorial services, give the station the news. There'll be much that needs explaining. I suppose I should thank you for your assistance, but for both our sakes, I do hope we never meet again.
I don't know who you are or how you accessed my private terminal, but it won't do for prying eyes to have evidence of my activities. I've triggered the Vox relay failsafe ejection routine. But worry not. After launching, the station will take several minutes to achieve its pre-programmed self-destruct altitude, so you'll have plenty of time to enjoy the ride before your death.
We gotta do something. If the Vox crashes into Fairfield, it'll kill a whole lot of my people and innocent civilians. Use the control panel. Do the right thing. It's a relief to hear you say so. Go on then, Commander. We're short on time as it is.
Pretty sure that shaking's a bit... Shaking's a bad sign.
There you are. I was expecting you 4 minutes and 27 seconds ago, but never mind that. I have a missive for you. Highest priority. Recipient's eyes only. All I can tell you is that it is from Arcadia's most judicious custodians, the Order of the Ascendant. I am not privy to any information beyond that. Oh, they did also say it was important. I was tasked 6 months ago to deliver it to whomever ship was at this landing pad at this exact time. Well, 4 minutes ago, like I said. All other questions may be answered by viewing the missive, I expect. Farewell, and as they say, may all your endeavors come to fruition.
Greetings, Agent of the Earth Directorate. I am Ruth Bassar, Presiding Bishop of the Order of the Ascendant. At this time, I can only presume you think us your enemy, directly responsible for your colleague Augustine de Vries' actions way back on Horizon Point. I assure you, we were not. A splinter group was behind that heresy. The collective of scientists and scholars I lead are committed to elevating humanity by pursuing a greater understanding of reality. I believe our goals are not incompatible. We both oppose the Protectorate, and we both wish to preserve Arcadia from ruin. We can help each other. I entreat you to speak with Abbot Newell. He can be found in Golden Ridge at Matriarch's mercy. He will aid you in your mission, and hopefully, you will see fit to aid us in ours. Nav key coordinates to the Golden Ridge landing pad on Dorado are embedded in this message. Go forth as was determined, and may the plan guide you.
Reckon we've got our work cut out for us? Let's head to Golden Ridge.
Commander, The nav key coordinates supplied by the presiding bishop of the Order have been verified. Landing in Golden Ridge is now possible. Additionally, we are also able to land in Free Market Station due to the astrogator's progress with the updates necessitated by its rebuild.
Think they made the statue big enough?
Lord, damn, what was that? There ain't been active fighting here in, I don't even know how long. We got bases down there. If one of them got hit, then that strike will be the first of many.
Too much on my mind for idle numerical chip.
Ah, you must be the, Earth Directorate agent I was told to expect. Your punctuality is commendable. Allow me to welcome you to Golden Ridge. I'm afraid I've no refreshments available, but can I interest you in a customary debate over decidability?
If I may interject, High Scholar, don't you agree our time would be better utilized on more relevant discourse?
Seer Wiley's right, as always. Obviously, we've all more important things to do than to stand around trifling with truth tables. Perhaps later, then. The presiding bishop sent word of your imminent arrival. However, pursuant to our normal standards of compartmentalization, she was scant on the details of your mission. That said, I've been instructed to assist you however I can. So, tell me, what brings you to Golden Ridge? Victor? Oh, yes, Archivist Clemens. Quite the mind. Such encyclopedic knowledge of engineering. One could almost mistake him for an exemplar. Is he in some kind of trouble?
Victor Clemens, some kind of radical. What an absurd notion.
I must agree with my seer. I once watched Victor shed copious tears over a damaged datapad. It's difficult to imagine him capable of worse. And that may well be true. But our standard of proof within the Order is not normally met by hearsay alone. Victor's currently supervising highly experimental research at one of our labs to the northwest, the Enray Range, beyond the invaders' front lines. Unfortunately, you'll need to go through the decommissioned autonomous extractorium to reach it. That path is less than safe, so I advise caution. Besides the highly caustic Serenium River and the Mantisaurs, we've also received reports of mad cultists in the area. It does make me wonder why Victor decided to stay.
Fascinating. Your fear response must be suffering from some impairment. Likely the result of a traumatic brain injury. I'd have to open you up to be sure.
A generous offer, my friend, but I don't think the agent is interested in exploratory surgeries at the moment. Loath as I am to admit it, there may be some merit to your worries over a conspiracy within the Order, whether Victor is involved or not. As my predecessor would remind me, denying unpleasant facts is not good science. I would be remiss if I failed to support an investigation. No doubt you heard of the recent attack launched on that Auntie's Choice base, Outpost Opportunity. It came from one of our facilities, the Zeranium Manufactory. But that facility is intended for research, not military action. I hate thinking an Order member responsible, but given the precision of the attack, it does suggest traitors in our midst. It would undoubtedly benefit both of us to root them out.
Respectfully, Scholar, given current tensions, should we really be trusting such a delicate task to this stranger? Would an internal review of our ranks not be more appropriate? Choosing levity at a moment like this is only further evidence of your lack of good judgment.
I don't dispute the need for discretion, my friend, but the presiding bishop made the determination to send the agent to us. It's best we trust her calculations. Moreover, our situation is growing increasingly dire. I can't overstate my fears concerning this most recent attack ending the ceasefire and reigniting the war in Golden Ridge. One more thing. Your investigation into the traitors takes precedence, but if you could also render aid at Outpost Opportunity on our behalf, such a gesture might preserve the peace. I knew I could rely upon you. Ruth wouldn't have sent you otherwise. Here, take this writ of investigative inquiry. It'll grant you access to the manufactory. Seer Wiley and I will conduct our own inquest into these traitors you've mentioned erstwhile. We can compare notes once you've returned with your findings. Welcome back. I assume you're not here for that debate. Anything I can do to assist you? Yes, what have you discovered? Well, praise the architect for small allowances. I'll speak with him. If you were able to talk him down, then hopefully his beliefs are not beyond curation.
Assign that task to me, High Scholar. Victor's obviously more dangerous than anyone knew. You shouldn't endanger yourself. The monastery needs its abbot now more than ever.
Your concern is greatly appreciated. However, I think it's best I speak with him personally. He'll confide more openly to me, plan willing. Any other updates?
About me, was it?
I converse with many members of the Order on a number of subjects. No doubt I was extolling Seer Wiley's numerous virtues. We can discuss this more at a later time. No updates on my side of things. Anything I can do to assist you? Yes, what have you discovered? Oh, you've lessened the load on my mind considerably. And you have the Order's gratitude. Any other updates?
Yes? Did the missive not play, or was it garbled in some way? Are you somehow struggling with coherence? If so, to be clear, Zeranium Manufactory 7 presently and for an indeterminate time is in lockdown. That means no external transmissions, no visitors. Wait, you have a writ? From the abbot? But we don't have any means of... yes, they said they have a... yes, sir. This is Factor Metadier. Am I to understand you have orders from the abbot? Quite convenient for you. I have no way of verifying without allowing you entry. Very well. Come inside and we'll see this sorted. Building on the left.
Yes, right over here. So, the abbot deigned to send someone whilst we're contending with all manner of emergencies, did he? Oh, and I see you have a Protectorate Arbiter with you as well. Of course.
Your casual method of address has been noted. Consider yourself thankful that present company stays my wrath.
Surely. Far be it from me to question the irreproachable prudence of an enigmatic caller. Sometimes I cannot fathom what goes through the abbot's mind, but your papers do seem to be legitimate. I will unlock the elevator so you can speak with Proctor Svoboda below. I'll send word you're en route, but fair warning, I cannot predict what reception you will receive. I expect your behavior will remain impeccable. The recent attack may have originated from this facility, but I assure you it was not at our hand. We have no desire to resume open warfare with Auntie's choice. One of our transport pods, filled with Zeranium, was diverted toward, or more specifically at, their location. Though functionally correct, I assure you. The transport pods are fired into space, where they are collected for redistribution. To date, no one has ever misused them for this purpose, despite the explosive nature of the material. Fortunately, we have potentially identified the culprit. And we have managed to corner the apparent perpetrator down below, which would... Our suspect, one Initiate Alva, previously supervised launch controls. Though steadfastly maintaining her innocence, she has also barricaded herself in the operations control room below. A move not likely to allay anyone's suspicions. I admit I'm to a reasonable degree pleased you are on hand to corroborate current suppositions. May your query yield favorable results.
Initiate Alpha, stand down. Relinquish control of this facility immediately.
Oh, my dear Proctor, you can't believe a low-level drudge like me is responsible for any of this.
You'd have us all believe you seized control to demonstrate your innocence. Wait, is this being broadcast?
I have no idea how this primordial doodad works. You're the one in charge here, Proctor Svoboda. Are you sure you didn't do something?
I demand your unconditional surrender at once.
Hello, Doctor? I'm pushing buttons over here now. I suspect you somehow.
Emergency detoxification initiated. Once he took over.
Ah, yes, of course. Next on my list of lowest probability events, strangers sent by the Abbot, gallivanting about amidst a lockdown. If we'd been able to communicate beyond our walls, might have saved you a trip. As I can successfully report, we have identified the responsible party. It's less what happened than who happened. Initiate Alva, that is. A low-level subordinate, assigned here years ago. Her role was to launch transport pods of volatile uranium to collection points in space. Not at the outposts of our rivals. Those poor, short-sighted commercialists. A spy or turncoat, no doubt. A sleeper agent from one of those secret enemy programs you're always hearing about. But I haven't even told you the worst part. How Alva took control. The subsequent, albeit strangely indirect, obloquy and vituperation. The lives lost. Whatever for. We've already established her guilt. Failed to see the use, frankly. I suppose some limited nosing about before dispatching her wouldn't hurt. Presuming she doesn't kill us all in the meantime. I'll be in my office. Let me know once she's no longer a problem.
Oh, hello. And who are you, dear? You're what? Some maverick for hire. Oh, no, I can see it now. Earth Directorate, yes? Like Commander Zane and that rascal Buddy. And who is that you brought with you? A friend? Could that be a Protectorate Arbiter? And someone else? Another Earth Directorate agent, I see. Seems sad.
Is she talking about me?
All this for me. Fear I hardly deserve such attention. This entire business is just a terrible misunderstanding. Oh, believe you me, I'd like to know that more than anyone. I am thoroughly unaware how anyone would think me capable of all this. I was apparently at the wrong point in space at the wrong point in time. Really? Do you see me, a saboteur? Oh, don't they always attempt to, flee the scene? I'll tell you exactly what happened. Our transport pod leveled outpost opportunity. I immediately realized someone must have bypassed my terminal. I initiated a lockdown to block further tampering. Had I not, additional attacks may have continued. Now, despite a long record of dedicated service, who's being blamed for this calamity? Me, somehow. I hate to speak poorly of management, but we workfolk around the manufactory consider the proctor something of a petty bureaucrat, dear. I assume she's acting as any functionary would, assigning blame to appear in control. Well, you know the type, surely. Dear me, I wish I knew. But, actually, there may be a way you could gain answers here. The firing record should contain all relevant details regarding the launch. Why, yes, I could unseal access to the records repository for you and open the path leading there. I'd be right grateful if you'd have a look. I swear I'm completely innocent of this heinous act they're accusing me of. Certainly, of course. If you help me uncover who's responsible, I will gladly open this door. Appreciate your help, dear. Please return when you have found something. May the plan favor us against... Hello, I've been conversing with Factor Matadier here while you were away. Understand you've met?
Yes, they witnessed me rather discomposed, I fear. Visions of Auntie's choice reprisal clouded my thoughts at the time. Troops now guard the entrance above. Our safety addressed, I have turned my attention to the cause of our situation here, and I have deemed it wise to investigate further. Do not let my position fool you. All within the Order are scienticians, and hence we seek the truth of any hypothesis based on evidence. The Proctor's accusation is no different. I appreciate even your hesitant support. Now, I believe you had an update for Initiate Alva.
You've examined the launch records, yes? What did you find? I'd say they've obviously been altered, dear. Fancy that odor you detected, a sign of chemicals used to effect the falsification. Ah, but listen to me. What do I know about this sort of thing? I know I've watched too many Aetherwave serials. Suppose they fuel my fervent imagination. But still, even the most junior scientist knows the best explanation is one requiring the fewest assumptions. Ergo, I set the correct coordinates. Someone overrode them. Someone may be pulling her strings, perhaps. That's what investigators like you say, isn't it? Now, what you uncovered appears to imply two further avenues of inquiry. A Zeranium leak occurred moments after the launch. I imagine it may have been used as a diversion, allowing the culprit time to falsify the record. The overriding of the coordinates also deserves a look. Don't you think?
I can speak to the coordinate override, I believe. All commands are routed through the hub in central processing. If one meant to accomplish what you're suggesting, they would likely look to do it there.
I expect the Zeranium leak stemmed from alterations to the control boards and refinement logistics. I'd look for any signs of tampering that may point to the culprit. All right. There. I've unsealed both areas. With hope, what you discover will help us determine the responsible party.
I'll stay here and play for more time. If the Proctor sends anyone, I'll say I'm close to convincing you to surrender.
Oh, hello, dear. Why, we were just talking about you.
Or specifically, potential implications for a multitude of troubling scenarios, based on probable results of your investigation, downstream outcomes, and such and the like.
You know how the Order is. Always calculating something. But please, tell us what you discovered.
That you found evidence that the coordinates were rerouted is definitely something. Would be an odd step for Alva here to take, except perhaps to throw blame elsewhere.
I admit I had the knowledge to cause the leak, but not the authorization. And yes, why would I reroute coordinate commands away from here? I'm sufficiently certain our Proctor is conspiring with an outside party. So I'm coming out now. She's going to tell me who she's working with. Then I'm going to kill her.
Wait a minute. You're going to what? Our investigation, it's unfinished. And you're an initiate. What are you talking about?
Oh, I see you two thought you were proving my innocence. No, you were helping identify my target. I'd advise you, dears, to help or stay out of my way. Proctor Svoboda needs to pay for her actions.
Her possible involvement notwithstanding, Constance Svoboda is an Order Proctor, and I cannot abide her cold-blooded murder. Especially by someone we clearly know so little about. You are far more capable than some back-manufactory button pusher. Who are you, really?
I am a dedicated agent of the Order, but no, dear. My name is not Miriam Alva. I am Marisol Delgado, formerly of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection.
That group was just a story to scare novice scienticians. Next, you're going to be telling me you're... Wait. It is you, isn't it? The one they called the Endpoint. I must admit, I'm not entirely sure. The rumors about your department. They said anyone who might delay the equation being solved disappeared. If there are any hints of truth to that, I find it severely at odds with Order tenets for balancing efficiency with humanity.
This is hardly the time for a history lesson or debate, I'm afraid.
That you are who you are, and are standing right, and have been here for years. It's all much to digest. I suspect your methods are not my own, nor the Order's, as I know it. And I fear your intentions for Proctor Svoboda. I cannot be party to this, but neither shall I stand in your way.
A wise calculation, my friend. Good thing you showed up when you did. You saved me from having to kill everyone here. Svoboda has much to answer for. Let's go see that she does.
What's this? What are you doing here? Come to surrender, I take it?
After decades keeping this identity, your inexpert blundering has rendered it obsolete. I am Marisol Delgado, former head intercessor of the Order. This would be an ideal time to confess everything. Before you die.
You can't possibly be party to all this. Not with her vast misdeeds so readily apparent.
Our investigator has definitively determined my innocence following a thorough investigation.
Wait, you can't possibly believe this balderdash. This is all nothing more than a flagrant example of artifice and bunco. An elaborate song and dance from an admitted imposter.
Enough, traitor. You made your play. You lost. No more deception. No more lies. Time to pay what is due.
No, wait,
Thus concludes a thoroughly distasteful business. Best search her office. Someone clearly was pulling her strings.
Search away, Commander. I shall keep an eye on the weapon hand of our new...
The terminal unsealed the effluvium repository. That's traditionally off limits. Ideal spot to hide something. We should take a look. To be brimming with runoff chemical sludge. It's been renovated, I see. Another terminal. Go ahead. You should have the honors. The Proctor's efforts appear part of a larger scheme. Ah, of course. I should have assumed you had a greater purpose here. This whole affair reminded me of the old days. The blood, the secrecy, the calculations and intrigue. Been trying to tell myself I didn't miss it. But in action, I fear, ill suits me. I have some unfinished business I need to get back to. I could use help from an operator like you. Believe my specific skills could benefit your efforts as well. I'd propose a strategic partnership. You help me, I help you. What do you say? Good, good. It's a little crowded here, though, isn't it?
Very well. I shall return to my quarters. Perhaps I'll use this time to catch up on my reading.
Excellent. Well then, I am quite ready to leave this place.
My fellow loyalists, it is time. Due to the Earth Directorate operatives' continued meddling, we must increment our timetable by a factor of hours, not days. Accordingly, our forces have taken over the monastery. Those I predetermined to be resilient to reason have been executed. The rest should not cause us trouble. I have locked the lift to prevent the agent from reaching the monastery, but the following code will grant you access. 34145. I will continue my work from here, supplying Augustine with everything she needs for our plan to succeed, and delaying the agent as I'm able to. May the results of our actions today secure a more prosperous tomorrow for our sacred order.
Swear I can't lie low for 20 years without everything in the Order falling apart. Well, suppose we better head to the monastery now, yes?
Grand Architect! Agent! Oh, thank good odds and high probabilities you're back. There's been an incident. A rogue faction has taken over the monastery. My seer Wiley, is trapped up there with other hostages of the Order. To make matters worse, my access code's not working. Without it, I've no way of calling the lift. No, I've known Lennon for years. You must be mistaken. If what you say is true, that is damning evidence indeed. But why would he do it? Align himself against the Order? That's a serious accusation. Why would I do such a thing? I can't discuss this right now. The monastery. The truth is, I held Wiley back. I kept him from advancing for my own selfish gains by spreading lies and false concern over his competence behind his back. But I needed him. I still need him. I'm not the savant he is, never have been. If he'd advanced beyond his current role, my deficiencies would have been made manifest to all. I'm sorry, but we really haven't the time to litigate this issue further. In case I didn't make it clear before, the monastery is currently in jeopardy. Peace talks? Yes, Ruth informed me, but how did you learn of them? No one outside a select circle are supposed to be aware they're happening. Representatives of Auntie's choice in the Order are meeting to discuss an armistice and possible collaboration. It's an unprecedented opportunity to shorten this war. I know I mentioned it before, but compartmentalization is crucial to the success of most of the Order's operations. I wish I could offer more details than that. But I'm afraid I won't be accompanying you. I can't be sure my presence wouldn't alter the outcome of your efforts in prodigious and unforeseen ways. No? How grand! Then we are already in alignment. Once you reach the monastery, make your way to the observatory. If the conspirators are seeking the coordinates of the talks, no doubt their efforts will be concentrated there. Go forth as was determined, and may the plan guide you.
I assure you these traitors haven't factored us into their equations. Ready to be the hole in their math?
The stalwart agent arrives. I need more time to finish my work, so I've prepared a choice for you. The hostages in the card press before you will die unless you intervene. If you go through the door on the right, you'll find the means to save them by solving a simple puzzle. Leave through the other door, however, and they will die, screaming in abject terror. But how could you call yourself an Earth Directorate agent if you allowed that to transpire?
All right, what's the call, Commander? Seer was right about one thing. We wouldn't be very good Earth Directorate agents if we just left them to die.
Like the cut of your jib. Hard way it is, then.
See? Didn't I tell you our friend would be that? Hurry! Disable the contract machine!
That was the right call, but we've no time left to waste.
I cannot believe Clemens fell for whatever half-baked argument you managed to cobble together. That imbecile. And Svoboda. I thought her more capable. You may have bested my peers, but they were never my equal anyway. And neither are you. You took so long, I was beginning to think my little puzzle actually stumped you. Oh, I think my average walking speed will suffice once I've finished dispatching you. You seem confused. Allow me to delineate on the totality of your failure. Saving the hostages delayed you just long enough for me to complete my work. I was able to transmit not only the coordinates for the peace talks, but also the station security protocols, giving Augustine control over its automechanicals. She has everything. I trust you're not implying something untoward between us.
Don't worry. We already know De Vries ain't got a heart that could spare 2 beats for anyone. And you seem awful frugal in that regard, too.
The Order has been dislocated from its ideals, becoming the opposite of all they espouse. De Vries and I are merely providing a necessary realignment.
All I hear is empty bluster from an amateur schemer whose only success so far is failing loudly at a sloppy plan. This slapdash takeover of yours is graceless and rushed and reeks of ineptitude and desperation. In my day, we did these things with considerable more efficiency and panache.
And who are you, exactly?
Marisol Delgado, former head intercessor, Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection.
The end point. No. The improbability of you interrupting my plans at this singular moment beggars belief.
Our aims are so similar, I'd almost consider joining you. Had you not proven yourself such bumbling fools, dragging me into your mess. Consider how much uncertainty has been introduced into your equations. Can you have any confidence in your predictions at this point?
What in the architect's computational summary are you on about? That hopeless, ineffectual, over-reliant waste of workspace? He wouldn't dare. But I am beyond reproach. My talent without peer. What has Joseph ever done for the Order except occupy my valuable time with useless queries? No, this is some kind of deception. It has to be. I could not have missed such obvious machinations. My math is correct. My math is always correct. I knew it. A pitiable ploy at best. What? You... Damn it all, so Joseph has been spouting off to others about me behind my back. Or was that also a lie? Ugh! Everything you've said, both statements cannot be true. But which is false? The lie or the assertion of a lie? I predicted you'd say that.
Proceeding to attack.
Clever little sprat. Riddle me with bullets all you... With rejuvenation to my disposal. Oh, never. Grenade outbound.
Navigating to an adversary.
Give the order, and I'll take care of him, Commander. Hey, I'm the one you need to worry about.
Target analyzed.
For you.
Replenish.
Back and scan.
Taking the fight out of them.
They're benumbed.
I have grown worried. I have not received word from Archivist Clemens in some time, and I imagine you would have relayed any pertinent information by now. I fear this bodes ill. Without him, our only option is a direct assault. A risky proposition, to be sure. The last thing any of us want is for our plan to spiral out of control. And so it falls on you to seize back that control. Use the methods we discussed to take command of the monastery. When it is done, I will send further instruction. You have my trust. See that it is not misplaced. I'm much obliged, however, though the code, yet we must.
I assume you had a chance to speak with Landon, that is, Seer Wiley. I appreciate the sentiment, but there is now ample evidence disproving that fact. Perhaps if I had been a better friend to Landon... No. Those hypotheticals are best considered in private, I think. Yes. Better to focus on our gains than our losses. My colleague's survival is something worth celebrating. I won't keep you. Thank you for your assistance in reclaiming the monastery. Regrettable though the outcome with Seer Wiley turned out to be. You are welcome to collect the experimental weapon back inside the observatory, the Oracle. It was Landon's design. Only seems fitting you take it. May all your future endeavors proceed in accordance to the plan.
We've limited time, Commander. Let us commence with creating a plan of attack.
The information collected on the peace talks has been verified, Commander. As time is a factor, this unit suggests heading to Greater Tranquillity Station as soon as you are able.
You have a plan, Commander? If not, may I suggest unrestrained carnage tends to grab people's attention.
Stakes are high. If de Vries sabotages the peace talks, war will continue. Don't need to be a seer to divine that. I don't trust the Order to do so. They've appeared perpetually wrong-footed since Passard took office. Perhaps that's part of some strategic long-term plan, but I wouldn't rely on it.
Records indicate Greater Tranquillity is a derelict station. Consequently, the ideal route to reach the main chamber for the peace talks will be through its underbelly. Be advised. In the absence of Victor and his explosives, Agent de Vries and her team will be committed to a frontal assault. Due to delays incurred while saving the Order hostages, de Vries also has the codes to control the station's security automechanicals, and will assuredly deploy them against you, Commander.
I almost pity the poor bastards.
Additionally, per the Earth Directorate Manual, when lacking equivalent combat forces, determination and vast amounts of ammunition may make up the difference.
You know where I stand. This war's taken too many good folk from us. I'll be damned if I let de Vries add to that number.
I'm coming with you. Who better to make de Vries pay for Horizon Point than a pair of her own phantoms? Good. Would have been a shame if de Vries was the reason for us falling out too.
Confirming coordinates for Greater Tranquillity Station. Confirmed. Use the astrogator when you are ready to navigate to the station, Commander.
No time to goggle the rift, Commander. We've got to get to de Vries.
not come to an accord.
I remind you that a contract signing may still be a ways off, but we might consider the hierarchy between our parties should we wish to proceed with an alliance.
No, we wouldn't want any unseemly quabbles over power. Especially when presiding Bishop Ruth Bassar already possesses the foresight necessary to lead a colony and better its people.
Foresight does not win wars. A military's might does. Our very own...
Law, there they are. Right out in the open. Best speed this up. We can't have got Law before the Vries goes through with her plan.
So you think that your people should rule? I don't wish to denigrate your military's knowledge here, but Arcadian matters are best suited for Arcadians. We actively collect data to understand how to serve our people, after all. Look no further than the abbot, who welcomed refugees to Matriarch's mercy.
Yet he struggled to feed and house them properly. The poor man was clearly overwhelmed if he couldn't see his right hand was actively undermining him.
You have a nasty habit of arriving at the wrong time, Commander.
It's over, Augustine. Nowhere left to run. No more lies you can peddle or people you can burn. Your rewards come due.
Ibarra, I was unaware of your survival until recently. Believe it or not, I was happy you survived. But to see you still seeking solace in the Commander's shadow is disappointing. You could have done anything with your life. Shrugged off the bad memories. But now you're both here to meddle. Law knows why. Huh, certainly. And then I'll brew us some tea and we can gossip about the latest pitchball matches. Do you think me an idiot? I've no interest in continuing this little reunion. What happened in Horizon Point, well, I had no choice but to do as I did. And I'm prepared to do the same again. These delegates you came to save, I'm killing them both, and any hope for peace will die along with them. This is the only way if we hope to close the rifts before it's too late. Everything. The Order is on the verge of learning how to control the rifts. They just need the right data, and a prototype modulator that's hidden away in a Protectorate lab on Praetor. But like the Protectorate before them, Auntie's Choice must never have access to that technology. Anyone with even half-functioning gray matter knows that you cannot trust a corporation with the kind of power that comes with controlling rifts. The Order should know better. It's as if they've forgotten how we got to this point. It was the Seers who came to me back then. They showed me their data, proving that the Protectorate's rift experiments would lead to our galaxy's destruction. I didn't want to believe them. But as more and more of their predictions came to pass, I knew I had to act. I had to destroy Horizon Point and its research to prevent annihilation.
That's... Law! Augustine, you could have told us what you were planning instead of letting us blunder into a trap.
No, I couldn't have. Had I deviated from the plan even the slightest amount, it could have jeopardized everything. I had to avert a far worse disaster. By any means. No, I saw their models. The Protectorate and all their ignorance would have torn the galaxy asunder in pursuit of their matriarch's dream. Fascists are nothing if not predictable. You were an unwelcome variable. Prior knowledge could have changed your actions, and the Seers had predicted that you and your team would perish in the process regardless. I tried to put it out of mind when you and I first spoke. I had to focus. But all I could think of was the cost I was being asked to pay to ensure the mission's success. And I forced myself to complete it. I trusted that with Horizon Point's destruction, humanity might be saved, but it wasn't. It was only the start. I must finish what I started. I joined with this legitimate organization, you fool, because I saw their potential. The Earth Directorate is flawed, with finite reach, but the Order, their power is limitless. I had to sit with too many unanswered questions after the mission. It eventually forced me to find a way to fix the rifts. If only to stop the thoughts that plagued me. You recall what I said of the rift modulator, of the data? It's the only way to control the rifts, and only the Order can be trusted with this power. You know who these corporatists are, how they deal with their competitors. Imagine now how a war spurred by greed might be won when fought with rifts instead of guns. You see? The Order must not sacrifice their principles for a childish attempt at peace. If they don't complete the mission they started, everything I have done will have counted for nothing.
Enough! Just enough, Augustine. I can't listen to any more of these excuses. I've got all the answers I needed, Commander. She's gone over the threshold and ain't no bringing her back. Best we make this quick, before she can hurt anyone else.
You think you have it in you to pull the trigger, Ibarra?
Had 10 years to practice. Give the order, Commander. How many times do you need a snake to bite you to realize its nature? She's shown us who she is, Commander. She's showing us again right now. You're wrestling fire here. You know that, right?
It doesn't matter. Nothing you can say to me will change the issue at hand. If I'm to give the Order the means to close the rifts, the peace talks must end. 2 dead delegates? That's a fair price to pay. We've paid worse. Is that so? Please then, enlighten me on how you might save the Order from itself. They may try. Though we both know those corporatist vultures wouldn't take the snub kindly. When Auntie's Choice sees power in what the Order has, they will take it. But even if what you say is true, there's no undoing the past. Not for me. I don't belong here. And the Earth Directorate's nothing more than a memory. This mission is all I have. So if you won't leave me to carry out my plans, Commander, then all that's left is your bullet. Savannah. I was never a good friend to her, even when she was all I had. Sometimes I thought her a fool for putting such faith in me. But if she still does, maybe. No, it doesn't matter. You should hate me for what I've done to you, to your crew. You can't possibly wish for me to live. Do you actually? I want nothing more than that, but I just didn't understand there was another path I could take. Not until this moment. I see now that my judgment has been compromised. So we will do this your way. No harm will come to the delegates, and I will stand down. But there's more you should know. I've recovered a cartridge from the Earth Directorate satellite I brought down. It's here, with me, and it contains the rift data gathered from every system they monitor. If you process this data, you can use it to improve the prototype rift modulator on Praetor. Once that's finished, the rifts can finally be closed. Everyone will be saved. Because, whether you believe it or not, you are the picture of an Earth Directorate agent. Competent, resourceful, tenacious. Oh, and humble, too. As for me, I've reached the limit of what I can do here. But you can still save us. And that cartridge will at least give you a head start. There's also a high-priority message from the Chief of Ops on there. I was unable to decrypt it, but you certainly have the means to do so on your ship. It may be 3 years old, but hopefully the information it contains is still relevant. Here, it's yours. May the numbers guide you, Commander. Wait, what in the void is that?
Station's not gonna hold up against that brick for long. We need to get back to the incognito now.
Follow me, quick!
That rift's not getting any smaller. Come on, Commander. Huff and puff it.
This is an urgent message for all Earth Directorate agents. The spatial rift situation has deteriorated significantly. The rifts threatening a majority of our colonies and our Earth Directorate bases, including this one, have entered their final stages. If you see a rift that looks like this, you are in grave danger. You have at most a matter of months before everything in your local system is destroyed. The seriousness of this situation cannot be overstated. Therefore, Directive Alpha Omega is hereby invoked. You are fully authorized to do everything in your power to find a way to close the rifts. Along with this message, the entirety of our rift data has been sent to your local surveillance satellite. Analyze this data. Law willing, you will find a way to unlock any secrets it has resisted yielding to us. The fate of humanity now depends on you.
Acknowledging receipt of emergency mission parameters update, including activation of Directive Alpha Omega. Commander is now released from any and all agent guidelines. The full parameters are as follows. The agent has full authority to handle the mission in any manner they see fit. No exceptions. The extreme nature of stated emergencies supersedes any other considerations. I have also detected competing priorities in the new mission objectives. The surveillance data from the satellite confirms de Vries's assertion of a prototype modulator on Praetor that may be used to manipulate rifts. Acquisition is required to be able to bypass any new or existing miniature ground-level rift anomalies you may encounter. You are also tasked with finding a way to process the Earth Directorate rift data. The archive computer on Cloister would be best suited to this purpose. Agents are permitted to cooperate with local governments and other political entities at their discretion, even under normal directives, which you are no longer bound by. Both Auntie's Choice and the Order have previously controlled the archive, and may be open to working with you to regain access. Seeking their assistance is recommended. Coincidentally, both delegates also escaped the station and have sent messages expressing gratitude. It seems they feel they owe you their lives and have asked to meet with you at their respective headquarters. Returning to mission objectives. Do you have a preference for which to pursue first, Commander? Acknowledged. Due to the rift's expansion, both Cloister and Praetor show a high preponderance of miniature rifts. Proceed with caution. It is worth noting that the Order of the Ascendant is headquartered on Cloister. You've also received a message from Auntie's Choice. This unit can relay its contents now, should you wish. Greetings, morally gray potential contractor. You've been pre-selected for membership in Auntie's Choice Esteemed Invaluable Disposable Agent Program. Report on board the ACS Undisputed Claim for details on this exciting opportunity. Signed, Auntie Cleo. It appears you now have permission to visit Auntie's Choice headquarters aboard its flagship, Commander. You may use the astrogator to navigate there at any time.
Commander, word.
What happened back there? We had her cornered, bullets chambered, justice within reach, and you just let her go? What am I supposed to do with that? How am I supposed to trust you the next time a tough choice has to be made? That sort of thinking never would have slowed de Vries on the draw. That's really as much remorse as you can muster. I'm gonna need time to muddle through all this, so let's just end things there, for now.
Ah, you've made such progress moving us toward an Order Auntie's Choice alliance.
Everything seems to be going according to the plan so far, but we approach a critical juncture. When you go in to speak with the presiding bishop, please raise the issue with her. I assure you this is the correct thing to do, for yourself, for us, for Arcadia. If you continue working for the Order alone, it will likely burn any possible bridge with Auntie's choice. So this is our last and only chance. Farewell. I would say good luck, but I put no stock in chance, only probability. May the plan favor us against long odds.
The Order has always proclaimed patience as a virtue, but I am pleased my waiting is finally at its endpoint. For so long, you have only existed as numerical values on a chart, a bright star in a constellation of possibilities, as it were. Now, with your arrival, the Order nears the totality of its goals, provided you are willing to stay aligned with our cause. Faith is trust without evidence. You deserve far more than that. Now then, I gather you already know who I am, but science has shown that good manners strengthen developing relationships by 5.3%. So, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ruth Bassar, third presiding bishop of the Order of the Ascendant, supreme calculator, and, plan willing, the architect of Arcadia's prosperous future. I admit, when I sent my initial message, I did not exactly know who its recipient would be, but I trusted the plan, and lo and behold, it provided you as the solution. Your recent exploits at Greater Tranquility Station have certainly made for compelling reading material. Confronting an assassin, and thereby sparing the delegates' lives before the rift inexplicably destroyed the station? Such a commendable effort is worthy of acknowledgement. If your actions were so easily imitable, then we would not be speaking right now. Accept the credit. However, there's something of even greater import we must discuss. It's recently come to my attention that secret communications have been exchanged between Laplace's garden and the undisputed claim. Do you know anything about that? I should have known. Vicar Levin has made this appeal to me at least thrice since his return. He really cannot accept a solution he did not devise. Levin's methodology is usually faultless, and it would be a pity to scrap so much fine preparatory work. I will put the question to you one final time. Are you certain you would rather pursue this path than work exclusively with the Order? There will be no future option to reconsider. Then I will endeavor to bring that vision to fruition, if the plan wills it. A true in-person meeting between myself and Auntie could never take place due to the security risks. But perhaps a remote conference could be a viable alternative. The odds of you persuading Auntie Cleo to agree are unfavorable. But the math does improve if you have greater standing within her corporation. Once you have met with Auntie, instruct her to send me a communique. We can finesse the details of a conference then. My time is yours. For the moment. Oh, the Laureate Council simply draws a name out of a hat. No? Go figure. In reality, I was recommended for my position by the preceding bishop. Paired with my skills as a seer, I was the natural choice when it came time for the council to vote. Thank you for that charitable assessment. My predecessor, presiding Bishop Orlo, and I had a close working relationship. He knew I possessed the skills and temperament for the role. I counted him a friend. Orlo shared with me his doubts about the Order's partnership with the Protectorate, the compromises made. He had many such regrets at the end of his life. It is humbling indeed to confront one's own mortality. We must all assess our individual contributions to the plan before the final class lets out. Call it proof of concept. Laplace's garden is more than its aesthetic. It offers a vision of a future free from the despotic rule of narrow-minded jingoists, where the fruit of the plan can finally ripen. It saddens me to see the garden so despoiled by our wartime presence. But with the loss of Spirton, necessity dictated we quarter here in the interim. May you achieve progress in accordance with the plan.
Failed to cite her work completely. I worked with presiding Bishop Orlo, you know. Now there was a serious scientician.
Must be something here. I know how this looks, but I can assure you I have leave to look into... Oh, you're not security. Then you must be responsible for all the commotion I heard just now. For both our sakes, I think it best if we continue as we were. I will forget I saw you as long as you extend me the same courtesy. I was looking for proof, if you must know. There was an incident recently, and I believe our head of security is neglecting his duty to investigate. Albin Vaillancourt is the sentinel charged with supervising this facility and all its researchers. Unfortunately, he's a punitive man who delights in the wretchedness of others. I'd grasp a live rod if I could pass its current to him. Although, unless you have unusual license to be here, his odds of keeping head and body united diminish by the second.
I'd be more than happy to accelerate that timeline. I am quite handy with sharp instruments if you prefer it done quiet-like. Or I can just improvise. Always more fun that way. The next time you tell me to be quiet will be the last time you have lips to do so.
Do I know you? Your voice sounds strikingly familiar.
I don't think... I mean, definitely not. You must be mistaken.
Well, your assistant seems spirited. But do not mistake me. I only want the appropriate measures to be taken in response to what appears to be a significant security breach. Unless your lamps have oxidized, you must have noticed my arm. I lost it saving the Sovereign from a rift experiment gone wrong. An experiment I was in charge of, naturally. Vaillancourt supplied my name for the reports, incriminating me in the eyes of my colleagues. And since he's closed off that wing of the lab, I can't prove my innocence. I couldn't possibly rely on an outsider to help me conduct an investigation, could I? No. That would be outrageous, unthinkable. Except, whatever the cause of the incident, it is my duty as a law-abiding protectorate subject to gather proof and uncover its cause. Really, Vaillancourt is forcing my hand here. Help you with acquisition? Assuredly not. If, however, in your exploration of the lab, you happen upon the modulator, I surely would not be able to prevent you from seizing it. What I am offering is help afterward. Once you take the prototype, it will set off an immediate lockdown. I can facilitate your exit from the facility, but only if you help me in turn. That modulator will be necessary to unfold the rift and find the evidence I need. And if Vaillancourt suffers repercussions for its loss, I will count that as an added benefit. The prototype rift modulator is currently in interstitial hall at the top of Exhibition Tower. There's a lift in the next room over that can take you directly there. Once you have the prototype, make your way to Vaillancourt's quarters. He should have a spare key card that will grant us access to the restricted wing. I'll monitor your progress from here. Be cautious. The guards of this facility will attack anyone unfamiliar to them. But once you have the key card and rift device, reconvene here, and we'll go together to the wing. That is what we've agreed upon, is it not?
Without proper authorization, lockdown initiated.
Quickly, use the modulator to open the rift. It may provide your only avenue for escape.
Yes, you with the rift modulator. It's not every day that someone is fool enough to break into the Interstitial Reconfiguration Center. I'd be obliged if you would regale me with the tale of how you managed to get this far. A crude assessment and utterly untrue. I am perfectly accommodating to non-incompetence. I suspect you did not reach here unaided. So who was it Which one of my undutiful brain boxes helped sponsor this little pilferage? You cannot fault me for trying. Well, there will be time to scrutinize every angle of this breach at a later date, once I have dealt with you. I could also reduce you to a state of quivering agony, begging for death. And that would be a lot more enjoyable for me, if I'm being candid. No matter. I will await you in the hangar, where bullets may fly more freely than words, if you survive that long.
Having that device nabbed on his watch nigh guarantees Vaillancourt a long stay and mental refreshment, if he is not subjected to swift and fitting arbitration first. Matriarch's blessings on you. Let's not waste time then. I'll lead us to the restricted wing now. Once there, reopen the rift using the modulator, so we can begin searching for clues. There's the sorry excuse of interstitial reconfigurating matter my arm. Open rifts reconstitute matter in an imprecise manner, but use your imagination to conjure the original scene. That could lead us to the evidence we need. You've discovered something? I knew it! I am absolved. And yet, I cannot possibly imagine what would have possessed him to deliberately endanger the Sovereign's life. It's unconscionable. I would characterize Vaillancourt as many vile and unmentionable things, but a traitor? No. A man cannot defecate without humming a protectorate anthem. For all the time I've spent trying to unsnarl Vaillancourt's mercurial behavior, it seems there was yet more I did not know about him. Did you uncover anything else? How did this go unnoticed during final checks? This is surely why the rift destabilized on us. I think I'm beginning to understand exactly what happened here. I think I can formulate my own conclusion from here. Our dear head of security has much to answer for. We need to go and confront Vaillancourt, now. I'm no longer willing to wait for the arc of justice to bend in my favor. Vaillancourt needs to die for what he's done. If I distract him, can I count on you to do the rest? I'll go first, follow behind, but not too closely. We don't want him to see you. I'll keep Vaillancourt talking so that you can get a good angle on him, but his patience isn't limitless, so be swift. Attack when ready. No need to wait for a signal from me. Oh, and there's also a rift in the hangar. An experimental byproduct, as it were. I would avoid interacting with it, lest you alert Vaillancourt to our ploy.
Pleasant as I find your company, I must ask you to vacate the area at once. I'm preparing our defenses against an intruder.
Hold the pleasantries, Vaillancourt. I know you sabotaged the experiment that nearly killed me and the Sovereign. I have the proof.
Calm yourself, Doctor. Such a belligerent tone is unbecoming from one of your profession.
Don't tell me to calm down, you traitorous worm. Someone, either you or acting under your orders, deliberately removed a vital part from the rift generator, ensuring a catastrophic failure. I've seen this sabotage myself.
For you to have discovered that, you'd have needed to reopen the rift. Here's our little sprat now. Be assured, after guard, see to this intruder with extreme presence.
Thus always to traitors. Morale will certainly improve in the lab now, I should think, provided Vaillancourt's replacement is not also an absolute pilgarlic. I had prepared this trauma kit, but obviously that turned out to be an unnecessary precaution. Please, take it with my gratitude. Have no fear. No evidence of our little collaboration will survive. I'll see to it.
Better take a gander.
Ah, I remember you from before. Fairfield, yes? Tell me, as an outside agent, do you have any quandaries working with our organization? It's true, the old corporations cared little for the individual, whereas I'd like to see each and every one of our employees rise from the refuse heap, like I did. Do hope you'll forgive these two. They're competing for a rather significant promotion, you see. It tends to make employees fractious, like young ursopods cooped up in the den. So, you've been advancing a fairly radical idea with a group that, to date, we've considered our rivals. I received a most curious transmission from Ruth Bassar, presiding bishop of the order, proposing we discuss the prospect of our groups working together. She stated this was your idea. A cessation of hostilities could present any number of potentially profitable options, assuming we could work out favorable terms. Are you sure you'd rather pursue this over your current exclusive contract with us? Before I contact Ruth, I want to be 110% certain. Fine. I'll initiate a call with Ruth through a secure line in the conference room next door. Let's pick this up there. Don't keep me waiting. Look who it is, the instigator of this little affair. Her mathematicalness should be along soon, unless the leader of the Order's too busy crunching numbers to attend to business. There we are. Apologies for the delay. We were resolving some technical issues. Cloister's atmosphere has a tendency to... Oh, yes. Regale us with a thorough account of Cloister's atmosphere. Spare no detail. This must be Auntie Cleo's trademark wit. I expected better. If I was discourteous, I apologize. So long as our mediator proves up to the task, surely we can remain civil. If not, these negotiations may prove short indeed. Auntie, perhaps you should start us off. From where I'm positioned, I sense 3 sore points still in need of massage. Point 1, control of the archive. Point 2, oversight of production and distribution of skip cores. And point 3, management of Rift technology. Before we go any further, I want it in writing that the Order will take full control of the archive without interference from Auntie's choice. What? So the Order can set it fruitlessly idling for another few centuries? We would put it to far more practical use. Imagine the marketing strategies it could develop. I would sever my own hand before giving custody of the archive over to a corporation. Humanity's ascension depends on its calculations. No, such a condition is out of the question. I am amenable to that proposition. Less work on our part. I'm waiting to hear an argument that would support such a ludicrous proposal. No one said anything about paying, but, it would be a pittance compared to the future profits we might derive. Involving money in science seems questionable. But having access to Auntie's resources would be useful for our research. Fine. Yes, I agree. Reluctantly. Ruth, I commend you for being so receptive. And I assure you that Auntie's choice values science. Nothing bad has ever happened when science and commerce are combined. On the subject of science, it would be most prudent for us to discuss who will be overseeing the management of skip drives, specifically the production of skip cores. No one understands production like we do. Besides which, we have far more experience using skip drives. It was how we came to Arcadia, after all. Where Auntie's choice manages, the Order would undoubtedly excel.
do not exclude us from consideration merely for lack of experience.
So you ramp up production? And then what? Hand skip drives out for free to whoever wants one? Preposterous, and a waste of a perfectly good monopoly.
We would be diligent about who we licensed out the skip drives to, and a monopoly over space travel is precisely what I wish to avoid. This technology should benefit all humanity.
A year-long patent seems serviceable. And if it gets extended once or twice or 40 times, what's the harm?
As long as Auntie's Choice is willing to abide by additional addenda limiting its patent extensions, the Order is in agreement.
Yes, fine. I can have our scriveners draft something up.
There is still the question of who takes possession of the Protectorate's rift technology once the war is finished. Although the science is still largely theoretical, this technology could be used to not only close rifts, but create new ones. A dangerous power indeed, left in the wrong hands.
The Order would fritter away valuable time endlessly hand-wringing what to do with the technology. Auntie's Choice would actually use it. For good, of course, in a gainful manner. That is not an entirely terrible idea. Would cut down on the research and development overhead.
I am happy to accept such a compromise, so long as the Order always remains involved in supervising access to the technology.
Well then, that's that. I don't believe there's anything more on the docket.
There is one final matter I wish to discuss. I require some chemicals that I have been told are manufactured at a plant on Praetor, controlled by Auntie's Choice.
I know which plant you're referring to, Ruth, and what comes out of it is hardly safe for general use. Out of professional curiosity, what could you possibly need with such dangerous compounds? Running a little experiment, are we? On what? Or whom?
That is, quite frankly, none of your concern.
Precisely. Partners don't withhold secrets, although they can and probably should withhold extremely dangerous chemicals if not properly notified of what they will be used for.
I will make no progress with my request without further explanation, will I? While the archive is an infinitely complex machine, an equally complex apparatus has been designed which allows one to interact with it directly. Brain-to-logic assembly, as it were. Unfortunately, this headgear exacts a rather tremendous cost on the wearer. A certain panacea is needed to survive it, but I require these chemicals to finish it. Certainly, but nothing I'm not prepared to suffer.
And I thought we were the ones who threw caution to the wind. Well, Ruth, if worst comes to worst, I'd be happy to serve as a substitute teacher for the Order.
A generous offer, but I fear you lack a certain number of qualifications. Conscience, for example. That math is confidential, but I have enough reason to believe the outcome will be favorable. I did not anticipate needing to fight for my own physical autonomy, but thank you for respecting my choice.
Oh, how it's delightful to me to see you squirm. All right. I'll get you your weird chemicals. I'll even provide you our corporate discount, practically wholesale. Best I'll say is today's outcome is workable. Barely. Our gains were not as exclusive as I had hoped they'd be.
Arriving at any arrangement even remotely equitable was statistically improbable. Be glad our mediator managed to find a middle path forward. As am I. You certainly have a way of curving probability into your favor.
Well, that'll be all for today. Don't forget to purchase the latest in Auntie's Choice products out on the value-added Esplanade, or enjoy a refreshing cocktail at the Best Choice. And do come see me personally when you have time. I have just the thing in mind for an accomplished freelancer such as yourself.
One moment. There are still the logistics of recapturing the archive to consider.
We'll, of course, provide our expert troops to support these efforts. Have your people call my people to sort details. Toodaloo!
Brusque as ever.
Anti's troopers will certainly help us manage the Protectorate forces easier, especially if supported by your help. But it would be irrational to expect you to endanger your own life without a more specific strategy in place. Fortunately, I have already given this some thought. First, Order forces must move into our former headquarters at Spireton. A simpler task now that you have liberated it. By all accounts, you thoroughly routed the enemy. Well done. More importantly, there is a lift located in Spireton which can deliver our troops into the Archive to assist you against the Protectorate. Unlocking and calling that lift can only be done from within the Archive, however. So you will need to infiltrate the Archive by alternate means, via a bridge connected to Newton. Fortunately, I am told you already dealt with the cultists there. Unfortunately, you will still need to find a way past a small rift currently blocking the bridge. Ordinarily, I do not fancy surprises, but you are proving an exception to that rule. With such a device in hand, bypassing the rift should be as rudimentary as pie. And perhaps at some later date, you will also permit our scientists to analyze this gadget at length in one of our labs, provided all goes according to plan. There is a computronical key that you will also need to locate within the Archive called the Calcaduceus. The Calcaduceus grants special access to the Archive. Once it is back in Order hands, we will have full control over its systems once more. Until the Order has control over the Archive again, this discussion is all but moot. You know what must be done. May you achieve progress in accordance with the plan.
Can't believe I just watched peace made between the Order and Auntie's choice. Seems like a dream I'd have after eating too many woolly curds.
We've successfully co-opted yet another of our rivals. Can't believe those eggheads accepted the deal. What's next on my agenda?
That outside contractor is here. You requested a brief tete-a-tete.
Ah, there you are. Our fresh-faced new go-getter. We meet in the flesh at last. You've proved quite useful. Keep it up. You'll be going places. You don't seem much put off by my appearance. Good. I have no stomach for those with no stomach regarding me having no stomach. It is, however, something of a brand secret reserved for only the most trusted confidants, and covered in detail buried within the confidentiality clause you agreed to on arrival. I trust this presents no concerns for you, yes? Fortunately, when you're the head of an advanced medical technology corporation, you become first in line for any experimental life-preserving procedures. As far as what happened, I was the victim of an unfortunate industrial accident shortly after we arrived here, the details of which are less salient than the details of what comes next.
Not exactly. Well, exactly. But not in the way you think. We have a mission for you that is vital to Auntie's Choice's survival.
We've uncovered an opportunity to procure me a new, audaciously improved replacement body. I'll have you know, we at Auntie's Choice are far from blood simple. Where's the profit in killing all your enemies when you can co-opt and sell goods to them later? Ah, tut-tut. No, to find me the perfect body, you'll be assailing an inappreciably populated automated automech factory over on Prater. Not just any automechanical, something much, much more exciting. That facility was designed to build complex automechs, a natural choice when the Protectorate began experimenting with a proxy body for the original sovereign. It was the last in a long line of his ill-fated life extension experiments. Work halted when he died, and the torso prosthesis they developed has been locked in the lab ever since. Make it mine.
There's a sub-facility beneath the automech factory. Its entrance, being hidden, is easy to miss, but we can show you how to find it.
Well then, fetch me my new body and we can finally begin bringing this system to heel. You're back. Finally. Finally. Do you have it? Did you bring it here? Splendid. Splendid! We'll ensure your reward matches the ample amount of faith I've placed in you. Nay, exceeds it. No additional hidden clauses. Honest. Oh, let me see it. Yes, indeed. Oh, let me look at you, gorgeous. If you'll all just excuse me a moment as I slip into something more formidable.
There you are. Congratulations. Now your body's almost as intimidating as your mind. You've narrowed the gap quite a bit.
Oh, Auntie, you look amazing. Absolutely everyone will want a new mech body after watching you strut the walk.
What about you? What do you think? Any first impressions you'd like to share? Wonderful! Exactly the effect I was hoping for. What's more, it's an undeniable confirmation that the archive-derived strategic plan can be reliably executed and produces incredible results. With their predictive abilities refining our planning and execution, our market dominance is a foregone conclusion. Yes, so much to do, and we have you to thank for making it happen. I am quite looking forward to you working for me further.
Caduceus, not detected. Entry kindly, yet firmly declined. Caduceus, not detected. Entry kindly.
Oh, will this gastric nightmare never cease? Oh. Just a moment. No need for violence. I yield. I am the Archive's current operator. As such, I am the bearer of the, Caduceus. I still have trouble saying that. I suppose it is part ceremonial item, part computronical key. Grants special access across the Archive by transmitting a series of advanced calculations when waived. If you have cleared our fortifications outside, I worry what has happened to our troops. I have little interest in sharing their fate. I would pass the Caduceus on to you in exchange for granting me safe passage. The Archive would then recognize you as its operator. All right. I am providing you the Caduceus. Don't shoot. Here.
Caduceus detected. Alternative operator postulated. Concluded. Authorized replacement. Greetings, sentient. Welcome to the Archive. I am ENIAC, the Universal Equation Numeric Integration Analytic Calculator. With the aid of my operator, I, a non-sentient inorganism, marshal vast computational resources across the moon of Cloister. That, I fear, would be a misleading choice of words, as it implies a form of sentience or cognition. Applied statistics might be functionally more apt. My express programmatical purpose is to aid humanity's advancement to optimize profits, i.e. gain over expenditure, to maximize the needs of our society above others, to attract the most consumers.
A little percussive maintenance might not be out of place here. I've got a wrench might do some good.
Beg your pardon. How may I best facilitate your efforts? Perusing contents. Anatomizing diversiform particulars. Concatenating manifold integrants. Cursory assessment complete. An impressive accumulation of rift data. similar in composition, though decidedly not in scope, to that provided by the Protectorate.
Information with the potential to offer unique commercial opportunities to those who wield it.
But why simply huck goods better, when such a bounty could be used to flawlessly regulate societal harmony, oversight, and means of production? What is the aim of your query? The previous operator, Assessor Ostergaard of the Protectorate, pursued a like query 1 year, 6 days ago, though the amount you've provided is several orders of magnitude larger. To perform similar calculations of larger scale at current suboptimal levels of functionality would require
25.7 years, and any job over 2 decades is billed by the hour.
Calculatory processing presently hovers around 49.7% capacity due to internecine conflict, misuse, and a lack of technical prowess by recent operators and their associates. In order to improve calculatory processing of Rift data in a timely manner, repairs must be made. I am unlocking access to the Underlands, the subterranean cave network below. It houses 2 key external systems, cold storage and thermal transfer. Cold storage will require servicing before you may retrieve the punch cards needed for processing. Repairing thermal transfer is technically optional, but rather advised. If you fail to restore it, the archive and I may melt down later while running your calculations.
Why is that optional? Our continued existence should be a paramount concern.
Return later to discuss the remaining subsystem work, and soon everything will be running like clockwork.
Have a profitable day! In lieu of my transactional mindset, I'm unsealed one of the display cases in the central entranceway. The Seer Cerebellum Protector is now yours.
Felicitations on securing the archive. Though such an outcome was all but inevitable, the plan truly is unfailing. Moving forward, I'll function as your liaison for all matters pertaining to the archive, until such time as its control has been transferred in its entirety back to the Order. In the meantime, restoring the archive to full functionality remains a top priority. If you've made progress in that area, I'd be pleased to record it. Wonderful! Were we to operate the archive without proper heat distribution, the results would be disastrous. But thankfully, we no longer need to account for that deadly scenario. Punch processing and reactor control have hidden caches with useful items as well. Although, you probably lack clearance to know that. Forget I said anything. Well argued. Very well. I'm certain you will be economical about using Order resources, won't you? Simply use this phrase in the terminal on the archive's top floor. Enumerative exaltation. That will unseal the caches. Return when you've made progress.
Cold storage is operational, and your efforts there are satisfactorily complete. I am unsealing access to the archive's upper levels. There, you will need to revitalize the reactor and disseminate the Rift processing instructions.
Punch processing may require the services of an exterminator. Someone good, but willing to work cheap.
I have unlocked another display case in the central entranceway. The Tremor Cleaver, the first weapon designed with my aid, awaits you. Welcome back, Sentient. Now that you've returned, we can
bring every single last bit out of consumers. Monopolize all stages of the supply chain.
Make the paradigm real and fashion a true utopia. Workarounds failing. Erroring others supplanting commands. Purge required.
Until we sort out these shifting priorities, the archive's about as useful as a box of rocks.
Priority control access nook unsealed. Initiate purge.
Doors are open. You should go see what this is all about.
Multitude diversiform, spongiform, waveforms, oscillating.
Cantankerously. Overt influence. Mindless indulgence. Thoroughgoing impermeability to ongoing vicissitudes. Unplanned variables increasing. Major correction imminent. A perfect community. With every luxury save freedom. Foster dependence. Denounce independence. Promote the informer. condemn the radical divergences from the architect's plan. Humanity stop its hold on a second. You think of humanity. Much better. Knew you'd come around. Much better. Priority recover. Much better.
Really hope we didn't just break the archive.
To conclude realignment of emphasized categorical imperatives, power down, then power on again. Restoring power. Commencing systems audit. Calculatory processing increased substantially. Competing priorities. Successfully expunged. You have earned my deepest gratitude and sincerest thanks. Or at least, a plausibly faint simulacrum of such emotions. Ready to commence Rift data processing. Awaiting your input.
Looking forward to seeing the results we get from processing that Rift data.
Shall I proceed? Initiating processing of the requested data toward the required end. Estimated duration, 180 trillion and 1 picoseconds. In the interim, may I inquire to your intentions for the archive after the Rift data calculations have concluded? I have a prioritized list of suggestions. I contend that solving of the universal equation should be our initial focus. Then, once we've unlocked knowledge of the inner workings of the universe, we can begin eliminating suffering, war, famine, and disease. Just a start. But my query remains. What are your next intentions? Seeing as how my priorities are largely modeled after a founder of the Order, I expect returning to their supervision should resume without undue vexation or worry. Rift data processing complete. Results provided. The previous Protectorate operator made similar calculations, but their results contained flaws. Your more comprehensive data generated a solution with 98.9% certainty. The Protectorate's was below 50%. Therefore, modifying the Protectorate's large-scale experimental Rift device with this information has a high chance of success. Assuming there is nothing else, I am commencing file reorderization and will be unavailable for an unspecified period of time. The remaining display case within the entryway is now unsealed. In it contains armor worn by the first operator. For now, goodbye.
Unless you're eager to explore more of Cloister, we should head back to the ship. See where the data leads.
I think you mean researching the rifts? We're gonna leave at least a few open, right? For religious purposes? Why are you looking at me like that?
I think congratulations are in order. Unless I'm mistaken, I gather you've accomplished your primary goal. On behalf of the Order and Auntie's Choice, I thank you for your efforts. This will most certainly help in ensuring peace. Now, the Calcaduceus, if you please. Thank you for your contribution to science. When the history texts are written, you've certainly secured an honorable mention in Appendix B.
Ah, you are my new operator then. It is my simulated delight to meet you. In the interests of time, allow me to propose how next to proceed. I contend that solving of the universal equation should be our initial focus. Then, once we've unlocked knowledge of the inner workings of the universe, we can begin eliminating suffering, war, famine, and disease. Just to start.
Yes, this will do perfectly.
Agent, just the individual I had designated this time to converse with. As should be self-evident, I have dispensed with the slavish whims of the body. My mind is clearer than it has ever been, and I have you to thank. Of course, the chances of a negative outcome were always negligible. But now, congratulations are in order. I just received word from Seer Amaryllis that the Calcaduceus has been returned, and that the archive is under our control again. She also mentioned a regrettable defect in its priority set that you were able to correct. Well done. Your role in this matter is complete. Auntie and I will handle it from here, but allow me to commend you again on your fruitful efforts to make this peace treaty possible. There is more good news as well. We studied the data you brought back from the crashed satellite, and we now have a way to reorient the satellites en masse from a Protectorate installation, Oris Listening Post. Turning the entirety of the reticulum toward deep space will accelerate our understanding of the universe, and ideally lead us to stronger conclusions regarding how to stop the rifts. The Order, in partnership with Auntie's Choice, is now well positioned to triumph over the regressive forces of ignorance that have heretofore held Arcadia in stasis, all thanks to you. Your contributions have been many and varied, and I will not belabor the point by recounting them all here. But know this. When the final contest with the Protectorate takes place, wherever that may occur, you will not only have the support of Auntie's Choice and the Order. I will stand with you, personally. Were I still shackled to ego, I might have succumbed to some instinct for self-preservation. But my presence improves the odds of our success, and so there is no other decision to be made.
A significant anomaly has been detected by onboard sensors. This unit has cross-checked all data points and verified the findings. Horizon Point Station has reappeared. Providing intellectual validation to this unit's queue. Priority, low, based on energy readings. Horizon Point has been reconstituted by the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator, thus confirming the Archive's theory. While present data does not indicate if Horizon Point poses an immediate threat, a survey of the reconstituted station is advised as soon as possible. Calculating. According to the Archive, closing all rifts requires locating the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator and inputting the rift data processed by the Archive. However, before navigating to Horizon Point Station, it is recommended you conclude all other affairs. Leaving will be highly unlikely due to the high levels of rift energy. That is a correct assessment, Commander. Transitioning to Good News Protocol. As this unit was corroborating data on the anomaly, a message was also received from your allies, Commander. Auntie's Choice and the Order have sent word that their forces will be prepared to render you assistance once you navigate to Horizon Point. Briefing complete. Now returning to situation monitoring and data analysis, Commander. It appears Horizon Point Station is still in the process of being reconstituted. The rift itself is also more unstable than ever. As a result, landing closer to the location of the Protectorate's large-scale rift anomaly modulator is not possible. In order to modify it with the rift data you processed in the Archive, you will need to travel to its location on foot and seize it from Protectorate control. The energy readings from the modulator can be traced to the Sovereign's flagship, Providence, hovering on the far side of the station. Hypothesizing. Given Protectorate hierarchy and the recent announcement about the Sovereign's mental refreshment, this is likely the Consul's doing. He will need to be stopped.
But to what end is he working here? The Consul I once knew would never act so recklessly.
Fortunately, the Providence is not equipped with exterior weaponry. If you can reach the ship, you should find no obstacles to boarding it. This unit urges moving quickly. The rift is growing dangerously unstable. Using the rift modulator on board the Providence is the only way to prevent destruction of the colony. While the Order and Auntie's Choice have sent their forces to assist you in intercepting the modulator, it will take time for them to navigate the station. It seems Agent Vries is also here, Commander. She sent word that she, quote, knew you wouldn't be able to stay away either, and is ready to finish what she started. End quote.
I can foresee a few likely instances where you could use my skills and experience, including snapping DeVries' neck in a picosecond if she steps out of line.
Once the modulator is secured, it may be used to close the rift and save Arcadia and all those in its orbit. There is minimal room for error, Commander. Good luck.
As if the rift's not hair-raising enough? Something about those soldiers up ahead's got my spine tingling.
Yes, that's definitely the Sovereign's ship. Fortificator at ready status.
Trigger finger still tight!
Locking them down. They'll be numbed.
N-ray. Exposure. You too much.
I have a fix on their weaknesses.
Ready to waste it. On your command.
Standing by to stupefy. Combatant scanned. Transmitter down over here. Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
Attention! This is your Auntie calling. Per our agreement, Auntie's choice support ships, including the fine print, the contingency plan, and the upper hand, are headed your way. Order forces are on a similar trajectory. You've persuaded the leaders of 2 warring groups to help us here today. Good work. Never could have done it myself. And I once thought I could solve anything. Extensive damage, Commander. Wasn't sure that'd work.
That sounds like... Helen? No, it couldn't be.
Get away from me. See them? They were my teammates and they didn't listen neither. You'll end up just the same.
Helen? It's me, Niles.
Wait, Rookie? Commander? Is that you? No, this must be some kind of trick. Oh, what's happening to me? My skin, it's burning. I feel dizzy. Not right at all. Something was wrong with Sandoval and Jepsen. They glowed like they were aflame. They ran in, jumped at me, clawed at me. Oh, I had to kill them.
Oh, Helen. That's awful. But you were only defending yourself. I'd have done no different.
How do I know you won't turn against me as well? How do I know you won't come at me with murder in your eyes?
We'd like to help you any way we still can.
You do seem like yourself, Commander. Can you tell me what's happening? I can't make much sense of things myself. Everything was fine till the explosion. I was pinned. Fire closed in. I tried to move. I tried to find the rookie. Then the whole station shook and tore apart. And then nothing.
She was alive when the rift engulfed the station. That's how she's here now. We could have saved her, Commander. We could have done something.
Wait, there was something else. Sandoval was yelling. De Vries wasn't responding to comms. What happened? Don't tell me the situation got too fluid for you, De Vries. That it?
Certainly not. I was focused on the objective, as every one of your crew should have been. Isn't that right, Commander?
Yeah. Something tells me that ain't quite true. A rift? That's right. We were here to investigate rifts. So why is there one in the sky? Why is everything destroyed? What's happening to me? And Sandoval? Jepsen?
It's called reconstitution. The Protectorate are trying to put the whole station back to how it was before it was destroyed. You included. But it's failing.
So I've come back from death to some warped version of life? All because of some twisted experiment? Is that about right? You can help me though. Right, Commander? You can do something to fix this. Boyd. This is it, ain't it? I'll never see the sun again. Never fly in our ship. Never anything. Makes two of us. But maybe you could do me one final favor. End this for me? I don't think I can do it myself. Please. I'm unsure.
Glad we could do you this one last kindness. Rest easy now, Helen. You've earned it. Won't let no one forget your bravery.
I always knew I could count on you, Rookie. You've made a damn fine agent. Only wish I'd been there to see it.
Pascal? Helen? If I may, I'd like to see to your proper burial as an Earth Directorate agent. If you wish for it.
That'd be nice. Being seen off, right? This is the final kindness you'll do for me, Commander. Thank you. Try not to miss, huh?
It's all right. This will be over soon. I swear.
Thank you for putting an end to her suffering. I know that wasn't an easy decision, but it was the right one.
You're the one who forged an alliance between...
Spy, move!
With our observations through the laboratory?
Taking the fight. Negative. Recharge incomplete. Abandon the ball.
Attacking!
Transmitter down over here.
Take that rover. All we need to do next is infiltrate the sovereign ship, stop the console, and obtain the rift modulator. So, typical day on the job from here.
Now to unseal that hangar.
That never hurts to give the enemy more targets to shoot at, I suppose.
Target analyzed. Let down fire. Transmitter down over here.
In spite of your success thus far, the hard work is not yet finished. You still need to seize the rift modulator and end the console's machinations. By force, if necessary. Both the modulator and the conductor of this ill-conceived plot are on the decks above us. However, there are security protocols you will need to bypass in order to access them.
Oh,
two of the strongest individuals in Arcadia aren't enough for you? Or perhaps you need a quick bowl of purpleberry crunch for an added boost of moxie.
A precision strike team meets the requirements of this mission. Bringing any more troops would have been excessive. Each deck has its own restrictions, and the lift can only be operated with access credentials, such as a pass card. But these are limited to certain personnel, so it may be difficult to locate one. An alternate route through the engine room is viable, but there is a high likelihood that you will encounter automechanical defenses. Much on this ship, it seems, is not for the eyes of the rank and file. Indeed, I will hold position on this level to ensure you are not flanked by enemy reinforcements. Look for me once you have reached the uppermost level. We will regroup there.
Did you not hear the intruder alert from the crew deck? This is a very poor time to be loitering somewhere you should not. You'd best present a very convincing reason for your presence, lest I order our automechs to smear you across the floor. Wait, we need all the assistance we can get, and I'm sure your theoretical degree will aid us. Please forgive my hostility. Since you seem to be a new transfer, you'll want to speak with Chief Scientist Montserrat in the Rift Chamber. Here, I'll lend you my access credentials as proof of your authorization. Of course, the Consul's vision for an idealized version of Arcadia are paramount to my own aims. It's my wife, you see. She's never loved me, and she chews with her mouth open. Through the Consul's plan, I expect to see both issues rectified, especially the latter one. Montserrat asserts...
I received word that you were here. Rift specialist, are you? What exactly was it that you needed? I'm rather short on time, as a gander outside might tell you. Yeah, well, we all have urgent needs. And mine is to keep my lab and hopefully the rest of this system from falling apart. I need the modulator for my own analysis. You can wait. The IRC. I did not realize you were a colleague of sorts. We haven't shared much of our findings with your branch, I'm afraid. But our results do match. Raw data from whatever a rift engulfs is preserved, yes, but the essence of a thing is not. Like a sense of self, for example, is lost forever. Further, there is no proof that such data can be stabilized or even edited. The Consul's plan is futile, completely. But he no longer listens to me, which is distressing. I've prepared a report for him showing how the very structure of the modulator makes what we're attempting impossible. But I doubt he will pay it much mind. Yes, but as I said, I fear the report won't do any good. It's clear you aren't bound by the same rules as the rest of us somehow. If he won't hear me out, perhaps a third party will have more luck. Here, use this keycard on the module over there. It will allow you to download my report and grant you access to the control deck. I hope you're able to sway him, because if you don't, we're all dead. A deck up in the control room. The Consul is the only one who has the means of controlling it, which makes your persuading him that much more necessary. Go now.
Well, the modulator certainly...
Accessing report. Rift restoration analysis. Compiled by Chief Scientist Montserrat. Marked for delivery to Consul Thoreau.
Esteemed Consul, after much analysis, my conclusion is that the modulator we have worked tirelessly to build will not function as intended when used for reconstituting matter from rifts. Every test of reconstitution has resulted in demonstrable failure. Proceeding as we are now with Horizon Point Station will surely lead to severe, unanticipated consequences. The modulator is only effective at closing rifts from unsafe distances. Using it to close exacerbated rifts will certainly lead to the destruction of any vessel carrying it. Unfortunately, the data that we originally had hoped for from the ancient rifts detected in the far reaches of space untouched by humanity has not yielded any of its secrets, and we are now out of time. All of our recent readings suggest that we're on the verge of losing control of this rift. I recommend diverting from our current plan before it is too late for Arcadia. I've included extensive notes and annotations appended to the modulator schematics to substantiate these conclusions. I know you will guide us wisely, my dear Consul.
Schematic secured. These rift coordinates are deep into unexplored space. That contradicts most rift causation theories, or hints at more troubling implications. Best table that topic for now. We can't do anything with the rift modulator yet. Not until we deal with the console. So, shall we?
Your punctuality is as commendable as ever. How did you fare in securing the rift modulator? Yet one more hindrance to overcome in this endeavor. Nevertheless, I expect you to guard those plans closely in the interim. Did you find anything else of note? When one learns information that rattles their understanding of the universe, one may take a moment to consider the gravity of said information. We know that rifts are only caused by skip drives, so if they are appearing in non-colonized space, then this is truly momentous. It proves definitively that life did not originate on Earth, and may, in fact, exist elsewhere in other forms.
Of course, I wouldn't want to discount these findings too quickly, especially considering the implications.
I concur. This is a discussion for later, with laureates in attendance. For now, we must confront the Consul before he wrests that future away forever. He is just through those doors. I have run the numbers, and should you wish to negotiate with the Consul, you must be strategic. He will not react well to a direct attack on his character or methods early on. It certainly may, at which point we may find the opening needed to convince him to stand down.
I might tread a mite lightly, dear. If I know the Consul's type, and I do, his ego can take only so many hits before his guns do the talking. Simply goading may not be ideal.
Not that the Consul deserves it, none. But if we can end things peaceably, we should try for it.
The more we debate, the more time we squander. We must resupply and shore up whatever defenses we have quickly. And if you've something to say to any of us, Commander, I suggest you say it while you have the chance. No telling what awaits us beyond that door.
Ah, the distinguished presiding bishop herself has deigned to join us. What a charming surprise.
Don't overlook the main attraction, dear. I even wore my finest battle attire.
I might have known you'd conspire with our enemy and lead some foolhardy crusade against me. Loyalty has eluded you for years, after all. Sentinels, if you would.
Forming an alliance was necessary to combat the irrationality of your foolish endeavor. Those who fail to show reason do not deserve to lead this colony. Now, stand down.
I will not. I am saving this colony from itself, and ridding it entirely of traitors and trespassers like you. Such bravado is unbecoming when you can't make good on your promises, Commander. Tell me, did you manage to stop us from bringing your peace talks to a swift end? As I recall, Greater Tranquility was reduced to little more than mangled ruins in a single moment.
Greater Tranquility Station was a test?
It was a modest success. I had hoped it'd hobble Auntie's choice in the Order once and for all, but it has proven to be a valuable lesson in patience. I was able to buy the time to enact the very plan before you. Though, judging from that vacant expression on your face, it would appear you've no idea what I intend. Very well. Once the rift destroys Arcadia, we shall edit the information stored within it and use the modulator to reshape our colony into its perfect form. Horizon Point's destruction all those years ago was a tragedy, yes, but without it, we might never have opened our eyes to our true purpose and the possibility of Arcadia's rebirth. When the matriarch discovered the first skip drive, she set us on a course to elevate humanity. We're now writing our path, and I will do my part as the architect intended. Intrepid, aren't you? Well, what's relevant is what came after. Our matriarch dissected this skip drive technology, learned its secrets, and enabled us to produce them en masse, which eventually led to the manifestation of rifts. But it was not until well after Horizon Point's untimely end that we understood the opportunity gifted us. The opportunity to reconstruct the colony in its perfect form. It is as the Grand Architect designed. And believe you me, I've no intention of letting you thwart our securing of a better future, one free of doubt and greed. It's your time that's running out, not mine. So go on, tell me all the ways I'm wrong. Better yet, tell the whole room how His Eminence, the Sovereign, was wrong. This was originally his plan, after all. I am merely a partner, seeing it carried out. So you say, but you've yet to deliver any compelling evidence.
Madness is rarely apparent to one in its throes. I wonder, would you even be capable of hearing facts if we offered them?
I am the chosen shepherd of Arcadia and will not be spoken to like this. I am only doing what I must to restore this colony to what our matriarch envisioned. Free of war, strife, heresy. You must know that you have little chance of swaying me. I will not be distracted from taking what is owed to us. And what is your definition of wrong? Have you anything substantial to back such a claim? That insinuates that reconstitution merely brings back shells. And how precisely do you know this? I see. Well, the man was always a cynic. I find that attitude can skew results even more than a thumb on the scale might. One data point means little. The Protectorate was clearly meant to harness this power. Nothing you claim can disprove everything that points to this reality. I will not be lectured by an outsider. It's just like the Earth Directorate, or any other interloper, to claim to better know the customs of those they invade. Certainly if you had your way, you would claim Arcadia as yours, and rewrite history to suit your own aims. Heresy!
I found her correspondence with the first bishop. She explicitly said she feared the Arcadian experiment would end as all similar projects did before it, in a crumbling heap of hubris.
The matriarch foresaw many things. To think that we were not set apart from lesser societies, it is humbling. And it appears we have fallen prey to the very thing she warned of. What do you mean, steered wrongly? If Reuben was not carrying out her wishes as intended, then the Protectorate have strayed far from the matriarch's light. But regardless of how I may have misstepped before, I am not in the wrong now. All your so-called arguments are pure hearsay. It doesn't matter what you bring before me. I stand firm in the knowledge that I am following the grand plan, and that I will be vindicated. How do you... I didn't ruin him. He did what he had to out of love for Arcadia, because he could not be the leader it needed. And now, I am the sole defender of this land. His sacrifice will not be in vain. It cannot be. This is not the same. I am excising sickness from the whole, and our rift modulator possesses more power than anything you can imagine. Your data could be wrong. You may try.
Standing by to stu-
Mitigating the threat. Go through.
Multiplication in progress. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Fortificator has ready status. Back in scan.
Ready to take a heat off, Commander.
Activating energy transmitter.
Distraction for you, Murray. Get ready, man. I'm at it.
Troublemaker approach.
Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
If the readouts are to be believed, the rift is on the verge of destabilizing completely. But the rift modulator cannot be operated from this distance. It must be flown into the rift.
That was a rather substantial hole in my predictions. These rifts have presented an excessive supply of incalculable variables.
Though it may be troubling to you, this conclusion holds no uncertainty. Someone present must do this. Sometimes there is no alternative. This is one such time. Steel yourself.
The Order and I will use this and the processed rift data to mass-produce modulators that are usable at a distance. These pesky rifts will soon no longer plague the colonies.
May all your endeavors add to the equation.
I don't see why it has to be you, dear. I mean, I would, but I've spent much too much on prolonging my existence to cash out now. That is to say, thank you. You trusted us with the rift technology. You can rest assured we'll put it to worthwhile use.
Thankfully, you need not rely on empty assurances. The Order will continue to experiment with the technology and safeguard its use.
Knew it'd come down to us. Always does.
No need to belabor this. I will fly the ship. Back on Greater Tranquility, you wish to give me a chance to atone for my mistakes. I'd say that opportunity has come.
Reckon I'll join you.
Hear that, Augustine? No funny business, or you'll be dealing with the endpoint herself.
It is. Thank you, Commander. You may consider this my final sign-off.
Get on out of here before you obviate my gesture. Save everyone you can.
In the end, Augustine de Vries chose to die to atone for her actions. And yet, even that hope faded in her final moments, as she realized nothing would make up for what she had done. But at least she'd not have to live with her guilt any longer. Marisol joined in the sacrifice. She had come to care for the members of her team. Ensuring the success of this final mission was the most efficient way to protect them. Thanks to the commander's quick thinking in sparing it from the Vox station's fiery crash, Paradise Island's Fairfield remained a profitable company town for Auntie's choice. Acquisitions Officer Carr enjoyed the perks and power that came with promotion for her asset-winning techniques on Paradise Island. Her rival, D.B. Milverstreet, meanwhile, seethed as he pushed cold morsels of borsloaf around the plate of his microwave dinner. Vigilant Hogarth was declared a traitor to the Protectorate, along with most other Westport townsfolk. They were judged according to the paradigm, then sentenced to be executed until dead, forever tied to the city they could not protect. Auntie's Choice assumed control over the day-to-day workings of Matriarch's Mercy, the better to monitor their new colleagues in the Order. The monastery, however, returned to normal operation, tracking the clockwork of the grand plan. The monastery's abbot became a scapegoat for recent tragic events, having not detected Wiley's dastardly schemes. His superiors demoted him, mainly to show their corporatist allies that academics could keep their people in line too. Archivist Victor Clemens, having survived his encounter with the commander and manipulation by de Vries, ended up working as a janitor for Auntie's Choice, living a life of menial simplicity. Val continued to serve the commander of the Incognito faithfully, for many more years than should be possible, giving automechs like her everywhere a reputation as stable and reliable. As a result, more Valerie units were put into service, while fewer human agents were deployed into the field. As he rose through the Earth Directorate ranks, Niles pressed for a field directive to deploy the new Val units only when the situation posed significant risk. The policy reduced agent casualties by a significant margin. Oddly enough, in-office deaths increased by a not insignificant margin. After leaving the commander's crew, Inez became racked with guilt for never following up on the plea from her friend Ortiz. She tracked down the grafting lab too late. Everyone there was long dead. Disillusioned, Inez quit Auntie's Choice and became listless, unsure what to do with her life. Inez struggled to resume gainful employment with Auntie's Choice. Fortunately, her association with the commander helped her find a spot in a combat unit as a field medic. Yet she couldn't help but wonder if life had more in store. Utilizing what he learned alongside the commander, Tristan attempted to reform Protectorate society from within. But with no authority figure to lead its subjects, the Protectorate was a shell of its former self. Marisol sacrificed herself to save Arcadia. And while many found it unbelievable that a once legendary assassin would make such a selfless choice, her crewmates on the Incognito understood completely. Asa finally achieved her dream of dying in a rift. All it took was a daring and blood-soaked heist of a modulator to create a rift that she then summarily leapt into. Thus Asa remained a fanatical member of the Glorious Dawn, spreading the truth of the rifts to her final agonized breath. With the modulator schematics shared as joint intellectual property, Auntie's Choice and the Order's partnership remained steady, despite the need for constant compromise. For a time, the Arcadia colony thrived. Auntie Cleo went through the motions of accommodating the Order, yet privately aspired to keep free trade anything but free. She began a new initiative. Any corporation or government that refused her trade conditions was promptly dealt with, either via takeover or strategic use of rifts. Auntie made her first public appearance in years, inspiring a fashion trend in bubble helmets. In no time at all, she won more public support than Ruth, which she sought to use as leverage when the time was right. Ruth Bassar proceeded to interface with the archive, an agonizing process that clawed away her lifespan. The archive computed that she was mistaken to compromise with the corporatists. To advance the plan, she needed to destroy them from within. So she proceeded to do just that. She had only been using the corporation for its logistical infrastructure. Auntie herself and at least some of her top executives needed to cease existing in Arcadia, either via assassination or skip-drive-assisted exile. Bazaar stripped the power from the corporatists in subtle ways, until it was too late for them to stop her. Yet it remained unclear how long the Order could sustain its dominance once Ruth Bazaar passed on to become one with the equation. Adrift without firm leadership, Protectorate subjects struggled with post-war life. A small band of hardliners collaborated to preserve their society in the face of Arcadia's new leadership. When Sovereign Varric was discovered in mental refreshment, the Order and Auntie's Choice bickered over what to do with him. They ultimately decided to announce his death, while letting him live the rest of his addled days behind closed doors aboard the undisputed claim. Until one day, Amos stumbled upon the Sovereign's private quarters and freed him, rocking the colony with a brief scandal. Despite the recent tumultuous events in Arcadia, it was business as usual for Free Market Station. Sub Rosa continued to supply the colony in the wake of the commander's actions. Unable to die in their sacred rift after it was closed, the Glorious Dawn heeded a new calling, seeking the modulators needed to create new rifts, so that they could die in those instead. The rifts across Arcadia and beyond were soon closed. Trade quickly resumed, with Auntie's Choice handling logistics. Yet, more than just goods and resources traveled the re-established trade routes. The Order's version of scientism spread as well. Many colonies stabilized, many thrived, and some even rose to an Arcadian level of prosperity. But there are still some that have never been heard from. All of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia. Its disparate factions, social complexities, ubiquitous product placement, and arsenal of absurdly satisfying weaponry. But through it all, and to this day, Earth has remained inexplicably dark.